Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this episode of the Suzette Speaks Show. I'm your host, Suzette Speaks. I want to welcome you. If you're watching on YouTube, hit the like button. And if you're watching on Facebook, hit the like button. I have a wonderful guest with me today. We are going to be talking about dating as a high value man. Of course, we have to start with our definitions. You know that on my show, I like to go a little bit deeper and kind of not only scratch the surface, but kind of, what should I say, open up the conversation from a place of self-improvement and growth. So I say that because I'm going to start with the figure who, first and foremost, made the term high value man mainstream. If you've never heard of him, his name is Mr. Kevin Samuels. Y'all know about Mr. Kevin Samuels. Welcome. Hit the like button. I'm here to talk a little bit about dating as a high value man. The dating lives of high value men have really piqued our interest throughout the YouTube manosphere, as it's called, and beyond. We are always curious about this elusive group of men. First and foremost, who are they and how do you define them? Well, Mr. Kevin Samuels, rest in peace, who passed away not very long ago at the recording of this show, talked a lot about this high value man concept. So first and foremost, I'm going to dig into that a little bit, understand what he meant by that. As you come in, please hit the like button. But today I have a very special guest with me. His name is Mr. Andre C. Hatchett. He is a dynamic YouTuber, and you can find him on Instagram and on these YouTube streets. And I want to encourage you to check out his website, which is in the description, as well as go over to his YouTube channel and subscribe. I am taking him a little bit out of his normal lane. You'll find a lot of shows on his channel about business and developing business. But tonight we're going to go there in terms of like dating and relationships as it pertains to high value men. Now, you may argue with me, but I do believe there are men with status, money, influence, and power that are not high value. Oh my goodness, can you have all those things, Andre, and still not be high value? Well, there are going to be some who would argue with me, nah, Sue. If I got money in my pocket, I'm high value. If I have status, if I have influence, I must be high value. Well, I'm going to differ a little bit from that type of definition. I think there are certain traits that we as women consider to be high value, but I want to hear from the men today. And then we're going to take it a step further and talk about what high value men should and should not do on the dating scene. Are y'all ready? We're ready for a fantastic discussion. Again, hit the like button as you come in. If you are a brand new subscriber, welcome. I call my folks over here who support my content my speakers. You get it? Suzette Speaks speakers. Yes. So the speakers are in the building. Why do I call them speakers? Because I want to hear what you have to say. That means light up the chat. Let's go. Put your opinion in there. And then at the end of the show, I'm going to drop the link so you can come on up, join the panel discussion, and let us know what you feel about today's topic, which is, again, dating as a high value man. Let's go. First and foremost, I want you to hit the like button. I got to warm y'all up before we bring up my guest. You know, I can't take low likes. We got to have the like button pressed. We got to hit the subscribe button and even hit the notification bell. We have some fantastic shows coming up on Thursday. You guys, if you're brand new, I go live Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturdays. Those are my 4 days on a regular week. Sometimes I switch it up, but Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. This Thursday, I have a fantastic coach, a high school football coach. We're going to call that show David versus Goliath. They wrote a book about this storied high school football team here in North Florida that went through some trials and tribulations and ended up beating the #1 ranked team in the country. And I can't wait for him to share his David versus Goliath story on Thursday. And then Saturday, I have a Miami group that's coming through to talk a little bit about what they're doing to serve teens and some of the issues that our teens are dealing with. So, here we try to elevate the conversation. We talk relationships, we talk current events, we talk a little bit of politics and law. But today, y'all just love it. Why y'all be in my business like this? Y'all just love when I get into relationships and dating. I'm curious about it too. Transparency. I am not dating anyone. I am as single as they come. So I am going to be a student as well as it pertains to high value men and what they are looking for and how they should date. Right? We hear a lot about y'all degrees don't mean nothing. y'all think y'all can't cook. That's the problem. Oh, hurt my feelings, hurt my feelings. I can cook a little bit though. What you worried about is the wrong thing. You guys are not feminine. You guys are not cooperative. You see my guest Andre, he in the back, he ready though. But what is the high value man bringing to this proverbial table? And then again, what should he be doing with his dating life? What is he seeking? What should he be careful of? There are so many ways this conversation is going to go today. Are y'all ready? I want to welcome again my Facebook watchers. We are simulcasting on the SuzetteSpeaks Facebook page. Shout out to you if you're watching over there, but come over to the YouTube channel. And for all my speakers here watching, thank you so much for always supporting the content from the bottom of my heart. I really enjoy doing this, and you guys are allowing me to elevate myself and raise the level of my content each and every time you like, you share, you subscribe, and you hit that notification bell. So without further ado, let me say hello real quick in the chat to my people. Oh, y'all already in here. Great Pill Podcast was first. Nice to see you, my brother. We did a fantastic show called Do Men Have Pretty Privilege? Say it again. Do men have pretty privilege? And I used R. Kelly as an example. That was a fantastic show. My brother is in the building. Salute to you. Hey, Sunbreeze, one of my moderators. Salute. Jared Bogarty, nice to have you here. Hey, Sandy B. Law. Good to see you, my Miami fellow sister-in-law. Great to have you. How are you, Sunbreeze? I'm good. Thank you guys for checking in. A Magnificent in the building. Kendra, the realtor, lovely to have you. She has a wonderful channel as well. Thank you for being here. Miss AKA Lady with the support. Thank you always holding up my content from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate you. One of my day ones. Also a member of my Patreon says, happy Tuesday, Suzette and chat. We'll catch this replay. You still supporting even though you got to go. I know you got duties and all, everybody's busy. So if you are team replay, let me first express my love for all of you watching the content. Watching it is so important to our success here on YouTube. So I want to thank you, Miss AKA Lady, always so generous on the super chat. Appreciate you, my love. Good afternoon or good evening now. Doug, nice to have you. Hello, Miss Globe Girl. Great to have you. Glad to see my peoples in the chat already busy. DL, say what's good, Suzette? Will you be up till 2 a.m. tonight? For those who didn't know, I was on The Lead Attorney last night. First of all, who told him to start those shows at darn near 11 o'clock and then want to drop the link at 1:30 in the morning? Well, only Lead Attorney could have me up out of my bed at 1:30 in the morning. I had, when you already invested enough time where you gotta just stay up, because I was like, oh, I want to comment on this case. He did a great show last night about really what was I thought it was more like a kangaroo court of people acting up. A lady having an appearance at a court hearing via Zoom. Basically, she was walking around an airport with her yelling self at a judge at a hearing via Zoom. It was the most, oh my gosh, disrespectful show of I don't even want to call it disrespect. It's deeper than that. It was a lack of self-respect, honestly. And I was like, you know what? I'll go up on Lead and try to comment and give my 2 cents. Lead had me waiting till almost 3 hours into the show. I won't do that to y'all tonight. I promise you. But it was fun. Yes, DL, you caught me out there. Didn't get to bed until 2 something. Had to work, get up and work out, then work and all that. So shout out to the Lead Attorney. Shout out to DL Saint, always supporting. But what are we talking about tonight, y'all? We talking about high value men and their dating lives, the secret dating lives of high value men. And there's so much always made about this term. Are you high value? Are men automatically high value? I want to know what y'all have to say. If you think you're a high value man, I would love for you to join the panel and let us know if we're on the right track. And then we'll get into the dating traits of high value men. And I guess expert Andre, putting you on the spot, will lend us his advice right? And what we should look for, ladies, or what we shouldn't be doing, both from in a heteronormative sense, the male and the female perspective. So let's, without further ado, yeah, I got so much questions for him. Bring up for the first time on the Suzette Speaks show, please welcome Mr. Andre C. Hatchett. How are you?
What is up, Suzette? Glad to meet you. What's up, Chef?
Yes.
Glad to see you guys as well. Honored to be here. Ready to
So
cook.
grateful. Listen, I am grateful that you are here. I know you're a big deal. Even when I told TLA last night on the stream, I was like, guess who I have tomorrow? He was like, you got Andre? I was like, oh,
That's my
okay.
boy, yeah.
People know. So without further ado, I want to thank you first and foremost for spending time with us here on the Suzette Speak show. Let me just tell you guys, he chose this topic. Smile. I'm not going to take credit for it. And I'm curious as to why. But before we get into it, I want you to introduce. It sounds like is your mic plugged in? It sounds like I'm getting ambient voice instead of mic voice. So double
Okay,
check just to make sure it's
give me
plugged
one.
in. But I think you sound great anyway. But
All
y'all
right.
hit the like button. Let me see what's going on.
Testing, 1, 2.
There it is.
Look
Now
at
I hear
you,
you.
star YouTuber. You know the deal. Only a star YouTuber would know that. That's
I
something
just want to make sure they hear your mellifluous voice in its full tonality. And
Yes.
yes, sir. Okay, well, let's get started. What you got going on? First of all, I know you are a man of many talents, very dynamic individual, happens to also be a YouTuber. But tell us about what you do in real life, and then tell us what you do here on YouTube.
Great day, everyone. So I am Andre Hatchett, now 40 years old as of April 15th.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you. I had a big surprise party. I'm seeing some videos and pictures. It was live.
Wow.
So I'm currently in Atlanta, Georgia. Been a property owner since the age of 22. My previous entrepreneurship was working with special needs children from 19 to 24, 25-ish. And I coached youth basketball, 2nd to 5th graders. Very rewarding work. Around 24, I started my mobile notary company, which I also started teaching online in 2015. So I've been a full-time entrepreneur since 2000. About 13 years. I've been a full-time entrepreneur. Owned some property, written 3 books on my YouTube channel, mostly business, a little bit of relationships stuff. I have 2 podcasts. Proud Black Man of Jamaican heritage. Shout out to our Jamaican massive crew.
Yeah,
I got Morocco. Shout out.
I don't know about the Morocco, but we got love. Yay!
Yep. And yeah, here to kick it, here to talk and learn some game, drop some game on this high value men things that my man Kevin Singh just made popular. I don't know if you know, but I actually knew Kevin.
Did you know him in real life?
I know him pretty well. Yeah.
Wow. And what were your impressions of him from what type of relationship? Does friendly, or you got to hang out, or?
We didn't hang out, but I moderated his Facebook group, The Mix.
Wow.
So
that was a pretty close relation if you're in his kind of like immediate circle.
We weren't friends where we spoke on the phone all the time, but we're really tight with our mutual friends. So I guess there was a level of respect that he had for me, even though we weren't boys like that. Great guy. He did a lot of good. He did a lot of good for people behind the scenes that people don't talk about a lot, especially in terms of relationship building. He helped me with my relationship that I was in at the time. He was a really dedicated guy to helping our Black people get into relationships. So
I love it. Yeah, I think he was very misunderstood. I know I kind of caught him at the very tail end. Honestly, I was late to the game, and my appearance on TLA with Kevin Samuels was one of the probably most memorable moments. One of my I guess hallmark YouTube moments. It was something I didn't anticipate, and again, I had heard so much about him, and then since his passing, I've taken a second look. A lot of his stuff, what they say, you can chew the meat and then spit out the bones. A lot of people didn't like the delivery, and some, outright just disagree with some of his premises. But there was some value, I think, for me. Pick and choose, but I definitely found some value in what he said, and it definitely made me wake up in a new way in terms of my dating life and how I'm approaching people and what I offer. and what they offer and all that. So we are in the house with Mr. Andre C. Hatchett. You guys check him out. He's on Instagram as well. It's in the description. Obviously, we want you to go over to his YouTube page and hit that subscribe button and show some love tonight and hit the like button, please, as we get into dating as a high value man. Now, we want to start, and again, I'm starting with the Godfather, Fly High Godfather, and with respect to his body of work, it's hard to kind of just encapsulate what he thought was a high value man, because I've heard it discussed in so many different places with different characteristics. So as a person that kind of knew him, and that's a big deal, Andre, when you got people that vouch for you and so he rock with you, that's like as good as gold too, right? Because he know people that know you and they rock with you. So that 1 degree of separation is actually a wonderful nod to, okay, this is good people's. So as I was gonna ask you, since the likes are up, are we getting the likes up so we can get into the conversation? Thanks everyone. Again, hit the subscribe. Suzette Speaks here. Welcome one and all. I am joined by special guest YouTuber, Mr. Andre C. Hatchett. And we're talking about dating as a high value man. He chose this topic. I am not going to take credit for it because y'all know I'd be nervous when it comes to relationship topics. But I thought it was fantastic because there is so much curiosity around this term, high value. And like I said, I know how I see what I deem to be high value, but there's a woman's perspective and there's a man's perspective. So again, as someone in Kevin Samuel's sphere, tell us what we should consider high value. What is a high value man?
So here go a few of what Kevin's talking points were. He didn't invent the term, but he did popularize it. It was making $10,000 or more a month for 3 to 5 consecutive years. One that gets forgotten about: how influential are you to your circle of influence? Do you help other men? Can you put other men on with game, with style, with business positions, with opportunities? How useful are you? Are you useful to your circle? And don't be a lone wolf was a big one. High value men are not lone wolves.
Well, this is what I want to ask you, because I know you're not done. Excuse me. I should probably let you finish, because
those are the main points. So
making a certain amount of money, which he qualified would be $10,000 a month or more. Right? More, Kevin Samuel's definitions, right? And a value to your friend group or your network, your social group, and helpful to your social group. Put people on, making people, connecting people of like minds to do business, to do relationships, to do whatever. Okay. So my question is, so I had, shout out to Tobias, the Traveler. I had him on maybe a month ago now on a show called Becoming a High Value Man. So he talked about his exposure, or maybe at the beginning of his life, underexposure to, positive masculinity, which were people who were getting bread, people who were, making good decisions about relationships, excellent providers, wanting to start families, doing other things that, in his circle where he grew up, he didn't really see. And one thing that struck me about Tobias, and he's not here, I don't think. I see his brother. Hey, what's up, Quincy? You can tell him I mentioned him. But one thing I didn't see in Tobias's definition, where I probably disagreed a little, was that a high value man has a woman, if he's heteronormative, and or a family. Is that a part of the definition of being a high value man in that heteronormative sense? Or can you be a perpetual bachelor and be a high value man?
I think you can be a perpetual bachelor and be a high value man, but most aren't.
Okay.
Most men who you see who make more than $10K a month, let's just go with that standard, they're either married or in a long-term committed relationships.
Okay.
So most of my friends are half my friends are probably millionaires on paper in terms of assets and cash on hands and all that stuff. 90% of my friends are married.
Oh, and they're all high value. Okay, cool.
By that definition, yes.
By that, and you put yourself in that definition too. I'm just getting.
I'm not married, but yeah.
As far as what you just described as the basic foundational.
Yeah.
All right.
all that.
Okay, single man. Okay, we let y'all know who giving their opinion. Maraca Shake. Okay. Shout out to Andrew on the super chat. Thank you, Andrew Walker, all the way from NYC. Always a pleasure and always, again, so supportive. I don't deserve it. Thank you, Andrew. I always appreciate you, my brother, from the very beginning of kind of my YouTube journey. Big up to Jamrock twofold. Okay, let's go. We are double the trouble tonight, both from Jamaican ancestry. So
yes,
I don't know if
massive.
that's right.
Let's
Good
hear
or
your
bad.
accent come out more, Suzette. We want to
No,
hear the
it's
Jamaican
gonna get
accent.
real, y'all. So get
All right.
ready. But I'm grateful for you, Andrew. Thank you for being so supportive. So I am going to flip a little bit on this. Beyond the Kevin Samuels definition, shout out to Mr. Samuels. I do think, again, he popularized it. Who would you give credit to starting or the origination of the term?
He mentioned the guy, but I don't even know who he was.
Okay, just curious.
Yeah,
so I want to ask you though. I don't know if this is a Rico Suave. I just pulled this off the internet. Y'all know how I do. So Rico Suave here. So I want to ask about the dating life now. So when we think about who Tom Likas, thank you, Quincy. Shout out to Quincy. Knew exactly. Thank you very much. I want to know though. You think about it in terms of dating and women, and people say, okay, high value men have their pick. They can pick whoever they want. My definition, let me just put that in before we get here. My definition of high value man includes character.
Yes.
So I personally cannot consider, as I was saying in the open, just because you got bread, just because you have influence and power, if you are, again, kind of shisty and not trustworthy, not a man of your word, will backstab, will empty another's bank account so that you can get, the glory. I feel like true men build one another, mentor one another, cover one another, hold each other accountable. Those type of character traits are part of my definition of high value man. Is that a part of the definition or working definition? Do you think most people have that as a part of what they are considering a high value man, or is it all about that money and influence?
Nah, character's a big deal because the whole 6 degrees. No, you're right now. It's 1 degree. You see how you told TLA that I was coming on your show? What if TLA would have texted you say, yo, I heard bad things about Dre. Don't have him on your show. Right? That could happen.
No,
right?
He was excited. He was like, yeah.
I know, but it could have if I was if I had bad character. It was a positive 1 degree, but it also could be a negative 1 degree.
True.
And it's important because we're going after wealth, not just for trips, for boats, to have a great, hopefully, wife and kids. Part of it is legacy. Part of who you are as a human being is legacy. And I don't think you need to be in a committed relationship, but I do. And this is something that Kevin said. This is something Kevin said a few times. He said he despises men who date women who they know that we don't like, but who want us to marry them. So he was adamantly against men dating women, string women along who wanted to marry us who we didn't want to marry.
Men that dated a person they really down deep were not interested in stringing them along. He was against that.
Yes. Okay. But I do think, and he would agree with this too, that you could date multiple women and still be high value as long as it's honest, as long as it's open. But character is a huge component.
Okay.
Huge
that's
component.
What I want to get at, because Trish on the pounds again with the support. Thank you so much from across the pond, saying, hey, Andre and Suzette, I see you working overtime. Oh, and is Andre related to Uncle Sue? First of all, Trish, you so funny. I had Orlando Minor on yesterday. Go watch the To Rent or To Buy show with Orlando Minor. She was saying that he looked like my brother. And she was like, y'all sure y'all not related? And I'm like, actually, seeing him next to me, I was like, well, actually, we do got the same shaped face. No. So she's great at making the connections between who we might have like ancestral, like we all have ancestral heritage together, but you actually might want to check and see if Uncle Stu comes up on your what is it, the 23andMe
I don't
tree.
think he does. I've seen Uncle Stu. Shout out to Uncle Stu. I don't
Big
think
up
we're
Uncle
related.
Stu. He always is here supporting as well. But
Shout out
thank
to
you,
him.
Trish. So supportive of the channel. Thank you, sis. I really, 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 really appreciate you always with your great commentary in the chat as well. And thank you for your generosity as always. I really do appreciate it. And you know them pounds stronger than the dollar. So thank you very much. Big
Love
up
the
all of my
pound.
UK massive. Thank you. Thank you. And I'm on a serious note, I'm really, really grateful always having your support. But yeah, so this thing that we're talking about here, the traits of a high value man, are super important again to discuss. Y'all hit the like button. We're doing work. I'm here with Andre Hatchett, and you guys can check out his channel and everything. And again, he chose the topic dating as a high value man because I want to shift now to his dating traits. You see, we got the debonair. You know, do they always have to be debonair, looking like, you know, old Keanu Reeves or old type throwback of whoever? Like, there's these people that we have in our minds as being, you know, high value men. And here are a couple that I think of. Yes, give me a young Denzel. Hallelujah. Ladies in the chat, y'all let me know what y'all think, or gentlemen as well. I think arguably, would you agree? Michael B. Jordan is a high value man.
I would say so. Yeah. Yeah. I would
Absolutely. I'm
say
just,
so.
you know, I don't want to
Yeah.
impress my opinion on others. I want to ask, of course, Idris with his
Idris,
fine self. Well,
Idris
yes, give
Elba.
me abs all day. Yes, but abs beyond
Definitely
abs.
high value. Definitely
But no,
high
his talent, of course, it speaks for itself. Remarkably talented, and I know he had some challenges in terms of his own emotional development and temperament. If you know his
value.
story with you
Mm-hmm.
know, with his then girlfriend, now wife, and how he's come a long way. And you know, I didn't know who is that Tank in the background. Who was that look like in the background to you? I couldn't even tell who it was.
I think
This is
that's Tank. Yeah, I think that's the brother Tank.
how
Yeah.
is Tank high value? I didn't know how Tank got into this, but
I would consider Tank high value.
he
Yeah. I would
is.
consider Tank,
He
yeah.
is. I was just
Mm-hmm.
like, but it was like a mixture, and I was like, and they threw Tank on there, but I couldn't change the graphics, so I just said, let me go ahead and use it. So all these gentlemen, of course, are just amazing. I don't always like to use celebrities because when you know, you use celebrities, it's really difficult because just regular everyday dudes are high value too, right?
Wow.
So we have this standard set by some, you know, really amazing people. Shout out to them. But of course, we have folks that are just, you know, living life. So let's talk about some of the dating traits. What would you say are patterns you see among high value men when it comes to dating?
Uh, I would say that a lot of high value men do date for relationships, which I don't think that's talked about a lot because it's not
That
as,
they want to be in one?
they want to be in one.
Oh
Yeah, yeah,
wow.
yeah,
Okay. Okay.
yeah. So it takes a lot of time, and so 10 to 15% of all human beings make above $100,000 a year. 10 to 15%. That's not a lot, right? It's tough to achieve that. So with multiple women comes multiple expenses, a higher chance of multiple baby mamas, time that goes to pursuing these different women. That money could be, and that time could be spent going after apartment buildings or writing another book or help having mentor some kids in the community. So it takes a lot of time. And I was talking, I had an interview earlier with Marquel Russell. We have a lot of same friends, and he does a lot of work with probably all millionaires or mostly millionaires. And we were talking about marriage. He says, you know, the thing about being in a relationship, Dre, is it helps you focus. It helps you focus on your goal and task at hand. So most men who are high value do after the age of 28 or so are looking for a relationship a high majority of the time.
Wow. So that's a great thing. We
Mm-hmm.
probably don't highlight enough that they actually are looking for stability in terms of it helps you focus. You don't have all these other distractions. It take a lot of energy to keep up with that roster. If you keep it the roster.
It's a
I
lot
love this
going on.
question. Ezra, the insurance broker, we did a wonderful show just about a week ago on do men still want a legacy? And I think a high value man would want a legacy. Go back and watch it. Excellent show.
Check
Excellent
it out.
content creator. Thank you, brother. He says, here to learn. What is the difference between high value men and red pill? Can
Perfect
you be a
question.
high value man and blue or purple pill? How would you answer that?
Perfect question. Our boy TLA, he broke it down in a chat the other day. a guy was trying to make fun of him, saying, "TLA, you're not red pill, you're purple pill." And he was like, "Yeah, you're right, I am purple pill." So for anyone who doesn't know, blue pill means you're kind of weak, kind of soft, not really assertive. Red pill means a little bit of F these, you know what's like,
F these women.
take them or leave them. Yeah, they probably don't say woman. But most men are purple pill. That
Okay.
means we enjoy committed relationships, but we don't have to be in one.
Oh, wow.
We'll take care of you and provide for you, but we're not going to give you our last dollar. We're going to do kind things to you, but we're not going to be the weak, nice guy pushover. It's what I would call an assertive gentleman.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
what most guys are.
All right. Shout out to that. When you were talking about high value men, we're learning today. Andre C. Hatchett here, letting us into the playbook, y'all. I can't wait to get a little deeper. I'll be dropping the link in a few. I love the comments. I'm reading them. Guys, thank you so much to my speakers. Always leave your comments. And even if you're watching Team Replay after the show, leave a comment. Would love to see it. I love this. Quincy says, high value men run with other high value men. I think that's very true. And he also says, usually those connections are made through fraternity and corporate camaraderie. There was one other thing you said, Quincy, that did spark my interest, because you were like, they had to be an apex predator. Oh, here it is. This is what he says. And what do you think about this, Andre? He says, integrity is a plus, but a high value man has to be an apex predator in regards to making moves. I guess that means business, to keep the title high value man. Would you say that? Would you agree with that?
So I want to say that integrity is a plus. I would say it's a must. I would say it's a plus. So the word predator, it could be used like that. So I have a text group. I have a few like text group chat groups, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of us, we do work together. I don't always think you have to be a shark in shark mode 100% of the time. Offer value, be a good dude, be a thorough dude, be a stand up dude, offer some value, and you're gonna have organic business and personal connections that happen. So I hear what he's saying. I just don't totally agree with that statement.
Okay, no problem. And I like your opinion. Thank you guys sharing it. I agree with this other comment I saw that, oh, that's the problem. Okay, Bernard, let us know how you really feel. The problem with Black people is they only believe entertainers can be high value. I don't only believe that. I do think when we start this conversation, that's where our mind automatically goes.
Yeah.
Or that's why I started there, because most people, when they think high value, they only think entertainers. But I agree with you. Can't be only. We got a lot of men that are, again, that's 10-15% of the population. So we still got to be mindful that it's not necessarily the majority if we're doing the comparison based on, or the measurement based on what Kevin Samuels was talking about. It's hard to make 10 G's. Once you make it, it's easier to make more.
Yeah.
But to get to that level, you do have to hustle. You do have to push. It's not, easy, or everybody would do it. So I hear what you're saying, but yes, I don't, well, maybe me. I can't say most people don't think of automatically celebrities or not, but we're going to broaden that here. We're talking about everyday men, high value men. Let's put it like that. I'm not talking about athletes. I feel like that's a whole nother category that I'm not even really in this conversation. Thanks for allowing me to define it even better. Bernard, that's not who I'm talking about. I'm talking about regular guys who have jobs or businesses that kind of are self-made in a way in terms of their financial situations. And that, again, beyond that, their circle reflects it. And beyond that, to me, their relationships reflect it. And we're getting into that a little bit more in terms of what their relationships are, dynamics are. And the first thing that Andre clarified was most of them do want relationships, a stable relationship, if not a marriage or something committed. So that's an interesting point. Let us know if you agree in the chat. Oh my God. DL is a big red pill, gentleman says. You absolutely can be blue pill high value looking. Lord have mercy. I'll bring it up. Will Smith already. Thank you. Trish says, I think Idris is overrated. I think he's fine. I'm sorry. That's my type. Quincy saying
that got a type.
No, I love tall, dark, and handsome, but God, whatever you give me,
How tall?
I'll be satisfied. I don't have right now, it's like I don't need an actual certain height.
Okay.
But taller than me, I'm 5'4", obviously.
Oh yeah.
I think a 5'8", 5'9" could work, or a little taller. But yeah, I'm not stickler on height at this point in my life. No, we're not considering just those. Tanks. Thank you, Trish. Thanks. Financial situation disqualifies for me. I don't know the background of Tank. I just like the graphic and I picked it and put it in there. Because I was like, oh, yes, Michael B. Yes, Denzel, Idris, and Tank. What he doing in the back? But I didn't know. I don't really know anything more. But if you want to
He's had
illuminate.
financial issues in the past, but I'm sure
Oh.
Tank makes more than 10 grand a month.
Yeah. If he's singing still and people like, yeah, thank you, Dio.
I
Hit the
mean,
like
one
button.
show is 30, 40 grand a show. Like
I
on the
know
low end.
he's
Yeah,
doing
yeah.
shows. So yeah, shout out to Tank. No disrespect at all. But I was like, comparatively, I was like, one of these things are not like like it was kind of like and Tank. Like, so I
Mhm.
don't know what they were thinking, but I like the graphic. But shout out to
Mhm.
Tank. Discipline, I think also, I would agree with you, Quincy, comes
Discipline,
in.
huge.
Yeah. Uh-oh. So
Discipline is
this
huge.
is the thing. High value men don't really have time to date and romance multiple women. Is that what we're getting at?
If you put the time into dating multiple women, it's going to take away from something.
Mm.
It's going to take there's always a trade-off, right? So at certain stages of our lives, we might value the woman more than the pursuit of the goal. But there's always going to be a trade. But long term, and, and pretty young. So I have friends and colleagues that are in their male who are in their mid to late 20s and up to about 50. Successful men don't want to be single like that. It's
Mm.
just not. It,
It
there's a
ain't
certain
it.
after you know you can pull a certain amount of woman, certain looks, quality woman, the game kind of gets a little old and stale.
Ah.
Once you can conquer, if I you might use the word conquer,
Uh-oh.
you conquered. It's like, all right, cool, I did it. I did it.
Okay, once you know you can pull them, you don't need to pull them anymore.
It gets a little old. It gets a little old.
I would think so, but again, the way I see some old players, I'd be like, dang, they're not tired yet. They still out here like 17-year-olds, like goodness. But I guess every man is different. Everybody built different. TTO, good to see you. Says these pill labels, manosphere labels come from these geeks. Okay, tell us how you really feel.
Can we
Let
answer
me
Bernard's
see.
question?
Go ahead.
Or comment. He says, but high value men have options, so they will dump a chick in a heartbeat and move on to the next. All right,
Mm.
there's truth to that.
Okay, go
I
ahead.
would say, talk about me. My tolerance is lower than maybe an average guy's tolerance to deal with certain things. So yeah, tolerance can be shorter for certain
So they
things.
got options. They ain't playing. You play around too much, you get dropped from the team. It
Yeah,
sounds
yeah,
like.
that can happen. That can happen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's real. This is me. Hi, Brown Gal Peace Lounge. Hi, Character Man is more like it for sure for me. Yeah, y'all feeling about the pills. I saw a super chat who gave me some love. They're
Super
asking.
fly.
Gina asked, "Is Andre Hatchett from Ohio originally?"
No, I'm from New York. Friends from
I thought I was
Jamaica.
heard a New York accent.
Yeah. West Indian heritage. My family actually, my parents met in England.
Oh wow.
Then they came to America, and I was born in the great state of New York.
Okay, cool. All right, Gina. That's a different Andre. She like I know him. He might grow up.
What up,
Yes.
Gina?
I agree with this, TTO. We know we cannot define in any real 100% all way everybody. I get you. Every businessman, hustler, gangster is different. Futile to try to even generalize, but we're gonna have a conversation. So we have to set some general parameters. But I
Yeah.
agree. Every human being is different. I agree. I'm not trying to uh, teach people that this is the only way a
Hey,
high value man is. No, everybody's different. So I agree with that. Wrench Turner, how are you? And thank you. Appreciate you.
Wrench, what
Showing
up?
love. I get
My
you
man.
brought him over here. Shout out to Brother Hatchet.
My
Hall of
man.
Game alumni. I love it.
That
Thank you
was a
so
show that
much.
O'Shea Duke Jackson used to have. We used to have like a weekly or
Oh,
bi-weekly show. Shout out to my boy O'Shea.
I see. Hall of Game. Put me on game. Thank you, Wrench Turner. Appreciate your generosity and showing love to your brother and supporting the content, supporting the channel. I really, really do appreciate it. So, as we were talking about these traits, so we started out with saying most high value men, y'all hit the like button, do actually want relationships, right? Or a relationship of some
Mm-hmm.
significance, let's
Yeah.
say. It makes you more hungry, it keeps you focused, it makes people man up, if you will, and push. So that's one trait in terms of dating. What other traits do you see in terms of dating?
I don't see most high value men dating women seriously who have kids.
Oh, talk about it, brother. Talk about it.
Yeah, the high majority of men who would be considered high value by the standards that we went over,
Mm-hmm.
they are with women who are childless.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
I think we
And can you
kind of
explain why?
it's a lot of responsibility that we kind of feel that we can meet someone else who doesn't have that who doesn't have that burden, and it's not always the kids, which is weird to a lot of people. It's another man in the relationship.
Oh.
There's another man in the relationship all
Mm-mm.
the time who you had sex with, maybe multiple men.
Okay. I'm trying
And
to
then if,
listen without judgment, but I'm hearing you. Go ahead.
and then if we and here's something that I went through that which a lot of men don't talk about this either. I was with a woman in my mid-20s and we broke up. I was dad. I was dad to her daughter. I
Mm-hmm.
had no access to the child after we broke up. I used to go on
Mm.
school trips and do all this fun dad
Wow.
like things. You have no rights. So
Wow.
so you're doing all the father like stuff, but there's no rights if things go wrong. At least if we have a child, at
Right.
least even if it's a battle and it gets ugly, at least I have some form of custody.
Okay.
Weekends, every other weekend, I have some form of custody there. So yeah,
Okay, so that's
we
a
come
thought
to
process that many do have, and then I think again it gets uncomfortable to say these things out loud, y'all. And don't shoot the messenger, y'all. We're here having a discussion about how high value men think, and we just have one specific opinion. But I think there's going to be agreement and disagreement no matter who you ask. Or, there's everyone has an opinion, but it's interesting to hear it. And whether you agree with it or not, again, we're hosting a show here on YouTube, Suzette Speaks Show, that allows people to even voice and what they think and be open, and you can agree or disagree, right? So no matter what,
definitely.
I always want to show respect, even though I don't necessarily agree with everything, but I want to hear, I want to learn. So this is something that is new to me, and I never heard anybody kind of vocalize that out loud. That would be an issue or a challenge for some, or if not majority of high value men, because again it's responsibility without, I guess, the security of having a long-term relationship with the child, and as you spoke about, having a third party, if you will, or
One more
parties.
part to that.
Yeah, go
One more
ahead.
part to that too. Without physical discipline, uh, the disciplinary factor, right? So a lot of us high value men, we have to be somewhat authoritative in our personalities, right? So if the child is a child, does something out of character, do we have to go to you, the mother, to discipline her or him? Or can we do it? Sometimes there's friction with that. And again, non-physical, let's just assume verbal. We don't want to have to go through a woman to discipline a child. And a lot
Mm-hmm.
of times,
Mm-hmm.
and I get it, woman, they may, oh, that's my child. When things are going right, it's our child, but sometimes when things are going wrong, it's her child. Don't talk to him like that. Don't talk to her like that. So that could be a little bit of
we
I
did-
kind of
we
trigger
did- we
masculinity a little bit.
Yeah, there's a lot to think about. So I'm gonna leave that there, and I'm gonna, again, welcome a panel in a little bit. If you are watching and you want to share your opinion, you could come up and do so. So Andre C. Hatchet is here. We defined it a little bit earlier. TTOO. I know you're just coming in, but we talked about it in terms of monetary. We talked about it in terms of values as well. So influence as well. So we're going to keep it moving. Quincy says, if I'm dating and vetting and courting, not wasting time. If I'm dating, I am vetting, not and courting, not wasting time. We have to be purposeful. And I saw comments about, yeah, it'll burn up your time if you just dating willy nilly. No, he's not married. He did say that at the beginning. He's not yet. Thank you for asking.
No.
High character should be the goal. We definitely brought that up earlier. Absolutely. I 100% agree. Let's see. So, Holly Game serious about educating men on different professions, not just dating, not not
Not
just
just dating.
game in
Yeah,
dating.
yeah.
LOL. Okay, got it. Thank you. I'm gonna drop the link in a little bit. So tell me more about where high value men are in terms of what are they looking for in terms of their dating.
All right. So this is a
If they're not
generalization.
married yet and not in that stable relationship, what do they
Yeah.
want?
So we tend to date very, very similar kind of women. Of course, there's the outlier. Women who were raised right. Woman, and by raised right doesn't mean perfect. It means a stable household. Let's even say, ideally, her parents were together, but if not, she had a great uncle and aunt who kind of showed her how to be a wife. We don't really want to do too much wife training. We kind of want you to have that stuff already in your arsenal, and then we go figure out the rest of the stuff that we got to do. Right. So how was she raised? Was she raised seeing a healthy relationship, if hopefully by her parents, if not her grandparents? I think most men are still like this, somewhat traditional in terms of being domesticated. Like, so I don't want to cook or clean or do any laundry in this damn house. All right, ever. Right. That's not my thing. I think most men are most high value men. We're busy. We got other stuff to do. So we don't want to have to worry about that kind of stuff.
Question mark. Sorry,
mhm.
put it real quick. Would you, or do you believe that most high value men are opposed to having someone come in to do some of that in their household, or do they expect the woman to do that?
We're not opposed to have somebody come in, but we want to know that the woman will do it.
Oh, okay.
You get what I'm saying?
All right. So she can, but if
So
y'all make enough money,
if we
someone
make
can
enough
come
money,
clean once a week, or no?
yeah, someone come once a week, but is she
Asking for
someone?
a friend. No, just kidding.
Is she someone who's gonna not clean? Is she
Oh,
someone who's
okay.
like,
No,
oh,
she's
I'm
gonna
not
have to
cleaning?
clean. You're gonna have to maintain it between the cleaning.
Something. Someone gotta do it.
But okay. Okay,
And I ain't gonna
interesting.
do it.
So
I ain't gonna do it.
you're
So
not
yeah,
gonna do it. And it shouldn't be expected. That's what you're saying. Okay.
at all.
Cool.
Bingo.
What else do you think they're looking
Emotionally supportive.
for?
Huge deal. Emotionally supportive, and to a lesser end, financial supportive. Not
Okay.
in terms of you paying for everything or a bunch of stuff, but if I want to go get an investment property and I have $10,000, would you put in 3,000 if you have it?
Okay.
That's important because we're big goal getters, right? Now, the end goal for us usually is to be able to take care of our woman, but if we can't do it fully right now, are you going to contribute to the asset accumulation so that we can have the assets fund your lifestyle, fund our lifestyle, fund it so you don't have to go to a 9 to 5 if you don't want if you don't want to go to.
So you think most
9 to
high
5.
value men want some degree of contribution?
Yeah, some degree. Bigger on the list is emotional contribution.
Okay, emotional support.
Can I talk to you about my plans? Can you help me proofread this email before I send it out? And we want a woman who's eager to do that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Lower end financial, but it's not a ton of money that we're looking for usually. Just something. Just something.
Okay, cool. What else?
We're not ultra fancy, and we don't have a long list.
Oh wow. Okay. Okay.
The list isn't that long, but our list is firm.
Okay.
The list is firm, and there's not a lot of negotiables, but the list isn't that long. Respect and admiration, or admiration. So I need a woman to respect me and to admire me.
Okay.
Like, you got to look at me as him, right?
Hey.
Even if your friends don't, even if you're later, you need to look at that's him right there. That's my man. I like we got this. I am into him. So some form of respect and or admiration.
Okay.
Yeah. Those are the top.
So I'm getting it, y'all. I hope y'all are enjoying it. This topic today was chosen by one and only Mr. Andre C. Hatchett, dating as a high value man. He's here blessing us with his insights. Go check out his channel. He is an expert in business and has also some videos relating to relationships. Wanted to go there today because, again, this type of topic is always of a lot of interest here on YouTube. And I'm grateful that he's here spending time with us here on the Suzette Speaks show. So priority wise, he's already let us know that having someone who is supportive, you said,
emotionally
caring
supportive.
or emotionally supportive. Yeah.
Big on caring, big on the caring.
Big on caring, emotionally available, emotionally supportive, cheerleader, sounds like. Also
cheerleader, yeah, that's a good one.
Able to do domestic duties.
Yep.
Let's break it down. So willing to cook, clean, maintain a home, if you will, home economics style. And the other main thing was don't have to have money, but it's good to have your own money so that we can build together. Is that pretty accurate?
Yeah. I
Okay.
would put that lesser on the totem pole though, but
Okay. But
that's my
it's
opinion on that.
interesting. Yeah. So you're saying the money part is not, but it's just interesting to me to hear that. But the relationship itself, being with, again, in a heteronormative sense, a woman is really important to them, and helps stabilize and focus them on getting that bag. So I agree with it. I'm going to drop the link. I'm really also interested about what women who want a high value man, of course, be the things that you just talked about, but all of us think that they're so elusive that, where do we meet them, or how do you put yourself in a position to run into those circles, etc. I think a lot of mystery is around that, and I want to drop the link, guys, for you guys who
Drop the
consider
link.
yourselves to be, of course, high value men, and you want to discuss it or ask questions. This is my contention. Are you already a high value man? Like, some men may not make the money. Can they still be considered high value?
I think they're on the way there. Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
have to be on the way. Yeah, I mean, it's not extremely tough in this day and age. Let's say that most jobs pay a guy between $4 and $6 grand a month. It's
Mm-hmm.
not extremely tough with an extra side hustle, some Airbnb money, some rental income, some mobile notary money,
Yes.
to get another 3, 4, 5 grand a month. It's not.
Mm.
This isn't extremely undoable, especially in this day and age. I think people go wrong where they try to rush the process, but if you give yourself some time, you can
Okay.
get the money.
Right.
Yeah, that's not a problem. And I want
Okay.
to respond to someone in the chat too. They said, "What about physical?" This might also
We was gonna
surprise.
get there, y'all. Let me host
Sorry.
my show though.
Oh, I'm jumping in the way. Get me out the way, Suzette.
We're gonna talk about physical traits, because again, I know that's something that is always, taboo, to say the least. To say you want a certain type of woman that look a certain type of way. But one thing, especially my YouTube journey has opened me up to, is like that's real. When people are talking about look, age, body type, and just how one carries oneself. I think that is a very important thing that many women are not talked to, or generally are almost sheltered against, in thinking that a man doesn't really consider any of that. It's your personality, it's how you are, it's your goodness of your heart. And there are a lot of men that value those things, absolutely. But are they going to be the main what should I say, steak and potatoes, or the burger? It's more like you got to really think about how you've been taught and what it is that men today, especially high value men, are really looking at in terms of what it is that they want in a partner. So let's talk about that. I see DL in the back, but look, before I jump into the physical attributes, let's say, that many high value men probably want, let me ask DL, you ready? You want to come on up, D? L Saint in the building. How are you?
What's good, people? How y'all feeling?
We are
What up, DL?
great. Sounding crisp and clear and brand new around this thing.
Yeah, it took me a couple hours to figure out that issue. It was definitely on me. That's, you get old. And I got something for y'all. I got something for my Jamaican brothers and sisters.
What's that? Hey, no, take it off. Don't get us demonetized. Yeah. But we love it. Thank you, DL. DL done put the reggae one drops on his
Oh man, I need some red snapper.
Yes, I love it. Thank you so much for being up here again. He joins my special guest, Mr. Andre C. Hatchett, talking about dating as a high value man. What do high value men really want? DL, I'm gonna let you do your thing. I have to go take a bio break real quick, but go ahead.
Okay, yeah, take the bio break and out.
Thank you very much. Hold me down for like 5 minutes. Thank you.
Got you. I'll engage, brother Andre, man. Pleasure to meet you, brother.
Brother.
Yeah. I stumbled on the Suzette's page, and I've been rocking with her for a few months now, and I'm learning more about other parts of the internet, parts of YouTube that I never ventured into. As she said, I come from the red pill space a little bit. I'm not the typical RP dude, but earlier you were talking about we were talking about our red pill, purple pill, blue pill. And I mean, I just pushed back just a little bit with respect, but I was saying that most dudes aren't aware. And like the way I look at red pill,
I agree with that.
Right. And I look at red pill as just being aware of female dating strategy and or female nature.
Okay,
So
I can see that. Yeah. And look, a lot of us weren't raised with awareness. A lot of us were raised that women are great, be kind, be nice, and they'll give you everything they want. No, you
right.
have to be firm and have boundaries and prepare for the worst. I've been divorced, right?
Ooh, bro.
So I know how ugly things can get, and mine wasn't even as ugly as some of my friends. But yes, I'm an advocate on men being aware. But I do think that some men stay there too long when that's not really who they are. I think most men are that middle ground, but we need to be aware of how bad some women can be.
I mean, they stay there. Like you hit it on the nail. You know, they hit the nail on the head. People are like, most people believe women are sugar and spice and everything nice. That's what, you know what I mean? That's what we were raised to believe, especially like in this country. Until you get into a relationship and until you find yourself in family court, and then you see what it is. And I think that's when a lot of guys have that quote unquote that RP awakening. And by that time, I mean, you're already older. You know, a lot of guys like, I'll just make the money back, but some dudes just can't handle it. You know, it's the emotions coupled with the fact that they just lost half their stuff, if not more. They're crushed. And then, you know, then you get all these other black pill and all this other kind of craziness that's going on out there. But yeah, I just wanted to say that, man. And so you're are you in New York?
I'm in Atlanta currently, but I'm from New York. I'm a New Yorker.
All right, you in Atlanta. So, I mean, bro, like, so what's your take on having game? And then, you know, and let's just back it up. What is your definition of game, and how important is said game to a high value man, or any man for that matter?
Yeah, so I personally don't really use the title game per se. Just for those sense, I would say approach or persona or aura. Some might call it masculine frame. I would say know who you are and know what works for you. What works for you to get a woman might not work for me.
Now, why is this important?
Because you come off, when you know your approach style, you come off more sure of yourself. And the woman can pick up on how sure of yourself you are, right? So my approach is very assertive, right? So if I meet a woman out, I'm setting up the date, the date on when we're going out next, when we meet. So it's not like let's text sometime, let's get to know you. Like, okay, no, you're dope. Today's Tuesday. Let's go out Thursday at 8 p.m. What's your number? What's your address? I'll pick you up. If not, I'll meet you at an XYZ location, right? So my approach is firmness, assertiveness, and that's how I get there. Some men, that might not be their swag, but that's my swag, and that works for me. And that comes off as real. It comes off as assertive. I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm doing, and it gives them a sense of trust because I know what I'm doing.
And even with your techniques being honed over the years, and like you know, obviously you've done the work. I mean, you're making that kind of bread. You know, like you said, you hit that threshold, 10,000 a month or more, or whatever your net worth may be because of some good moves. When you do all that and you get this technique, does it still boil down to a numbers game, or do you find it that you're just, yo, I want her, I get her?
It's always a numbers game, fam. Not everyone's gonna like you. Lori Harvey just left Michael B. Jordan. Kim Kardashian left Kanye West. Elon Musk been divorced like 2 or 3 times. These are billionaires. It's always a numbers game. There's no guarantee, and there's not always forever. No matter how tight your game is, your sex game is, your money game is, there's always the chance that things might not work out. It's always an abundance and a numbers game. So even me, I do pretty well in the open dating market. If I approach 10 women, and I approach some lookers, right, I can probably get 4 to 6 out of that 10, right?
And that's real good. That's better than good.
I'll take those odds. Those are pretty good odds. Yeah. So yes. No matter how tight your game is, it's always a numbers game, fam. So which is why it's important. And this is something that I do agree with from the RP community. It's abundance. Don't get one-itis.
Right. The abundance mindset is key. And I'm just helping out Suzette, like this. If you and I were having an interview, it would be a completely different tone. I understand these things. So you know what I mean? So yeah, but I'm just kind of, these are questions that people normally ask me. So when you get like young guys that come up to you and they're like, yo, Dre, fam, you know what I mean? What do I got to do to be good at this game or technique or whatever you want to use? What type of advice do you give them?
approach. So most women want a similar kind of guy, right? You can't control your height. So I'm tall, right? I'm 6'2".
We'll expand on that. What type of guy you would say that most women want?
So I'm gonna get there. So ideally would be height, but height's out of your control, right? So I'm tall, so I got my favor. Physique. Men have total control of our physique. So I got to lose 20 pounds, right? My muscles, chest, arms, pretty good, but I got to lose 20 pounds. So once I lose 20 pounds, it's a wrap. It's on. No, being sure of yourself. In the face, right? I'm not a 10 in the face, right? But man, my energy, it just goes up when I meet somebody, which is why I do better meeting women in person than online, because I could display my personality. Do you have a personality? You got to get one. Your own personality, not a borrowed someone else's. Your own swag. Crack a joke. So I'm fun. I could dance. Display your personality. That is a win. And I don't believe in being stingy either. I know some men have different takes on this, but I go to fly places on my own. So I'm gonna bring you somewhere fly because I do fly stuff.
Okay.
I like a rooftop. I like oysters. I like a restaurant on the water.
I thought that was simping.
Yeah, that's when you want.
Me not call nobody simp. Me not use simp. That's not my thing. I hear a lot of people use that word, but people actually do things for women that are nice.
It's only simping if there's no reciprocity and if she's not into you physically. That's when it's okay. I do believe in having a barrier though, right? So I'm not going to pay your rent when we first meet, right? So I don't believe in that. But come on, man. You got to loosen up and have a good time in life.
I mean, I get it. And you know what? I ain't gonna lie to you, brother. My philosophy is similar. If I'm gonna do something, like if I meet a woman, and you know what I mean, and we talk or whatever, I get to know her, like, oh, she's pretty cool. I have no problem bringing her along. You know, if I'm going to watch Swan Lake, you know what I mean? Like, I know she's in the ballet. I have no problem bringing her along. You know what I mean? You know, even if we're going to New York to watch that, right? I have no problem being along. But we're not doing this, you know, day one, week one, month one. We're not doing that. Yeah. You know, when guys come in right off rip, they're leading with their wallet. Let me take you to dinner to the most expensive restaurant. Let me give you a helicopter ride. You know what I mean? I'm going to take you out on a boat. And you don't even know her last name. That's simping.
Everything
now that we clarified, that is not what we're talking about here.
All about
genuine interest, and it's okay if there's genuine reciprocity to do things for people that are nice and loving and romantic. Okay, we got that deal. You cool with that deal? Are you still on that fence, or?
I mean, I have no. Listen, if you're with a woman that she adds value, she's a good person, you have vetted her, or you're in the process of vetting her, and she is, you know what I mean, she's up to snuff, or better yet, she's your woman. Of course you should simp for her. Why wouldn't you simp for your woman?
Genuinely who's into you just as much as you're into them.
Of course you should.
You're saying don't do it for everybody, but make sure she's just as much as into you as you are her. All right, we got that point. Let's get back to this. Let me bring it back. Thank you, DL, for holding me down. DL. I have to take a little quick break, y'all. Thank y'all. This is the SuzetteSpeaks show. Thank you, TL Saint. And thank you to my special guest, Andre C. Hatchett. He's around here giving some advice on what high value men should do or are doing as they date. We're learning more about what they think in terms of partnership. It sounds like they do want partnership. They are looking for, or excuse me, is it called partnership when it's high value man?
We could call it. We typically don't use that word that much.
Okay, so what do you call it? Like commitment or not? What do you call it?
You call commitment, yeah.
Okay, so not part. Okay, stand corrected. Looking for commitment, but he has to be the leader. Is that what that is?
Non-negotiable.
Non-negotiable. You are setting the course of the relationship, of the family, of the business decisions. Bingo. You are setting those, and we are following those
with absolute guidance. Yes.
With guidance. Yes. Okay. We got a little guidance in there, guys. Okay. So we can guide, but they're gonna make the decision. That's what he said. So when it comes to the physical nature of the woman and what a high value man desires, can you talk a little bit about that for me, as terms of what the average guy in your circle say who is
All right.
married. Who were they married to, and what are they looking for if they're still out here dating?
This might surprise people. So a lot of men are willing to go down in looks for more wifely attributes. If the woman has more wifely
Stop
attributes.
lying. Drop some caps in the chat, please, because
Right.
hold on. Let me stop. Okay, I'm only kind of half joking, but just repeat what you said. Just make sure I understand it.
A lot of men are willing to go down somewhat in looks to get a woman with more wifely attributes. So I have some.
Somewhat in looks. Okay.
So I have some friends who a lot of women would be. You could put them on the list with the guys with Idris Elba and Michael B. Jordan, those guys, right? Like they have that look, right?
Okay.
When some people see their wives, they're like, "Oh, she's cute, she's pretty," but she might not.
She's not a supermodel. She's not what they think they should be with. Okay.
Bingo. And a woman point that out. Men don't point that out. Women only point that out.
She ain't all that. You know we be hating. She ain't all that.
Yeah.
I know people that's finer than her. I'm finer than her.
Point it out.
And they're wondering how she pulled this man. Let's just be real, ladies. Y'all mad? We're just gonna be real. All right. So you see that a lot or a little?
It happens. It happens more than people realize. That's one people realize. Now, me, I'm a little different. I am a stickler on looks.
Okay. You like facial beauty?
Yeah.
Physical beauty. Or what are you into?
Body is important.
Body's important to you.
Body's really important. You don't have to be super thin, but curves.
Curvy and fit?
Curvy and fit. And face too. It's important.
Y'all get in line, right?
I'm a stickler. I am more of a stickler. On.
So you looking for the baddie? You looking for the you looking for that?
You know what's funny? It's easier for me to get a woman who society would consider really good looking than for me to get an average looking woman.
Why?
I don't know.
Just because of how you present yourself?
It's easier for me to get more rhythm with a woman who most people would consider above average looking than a woman who would be considered average looking.
Hold on. What? Because you got a YouTube show or what's going on?
My YouTube ain't popping like that.
I'm only teasing. I'm trying to figure out why that is. Is it your swag?
It could be.
Yeah, what you think? I don't know. Try to help me understand why.
I mean, like we said when we were gone, we were talking about game. Brother Andre likes to call it something else, but it's game. I don't know how you label what you want to label it. Everybody got the way they run they thing. Okay. You know what I mean? So if you went to what you went to and your game is bringing in whatever it is you want and it's working, you just go do it. You know what I mean? Now, here's one of the things I tell young cats when they be out there. I'm like, yo, man, they're like, oh, I'm top tier. I'm a high value guy. I'm like, if you so thirsty that you can't tell a dime to kick rocks, then bro, you ain't up here yet. You know what I mean? On some real genius. Like, I mean, I know guys who are so thirsty they just can't say no to women. Like, if you just can't say no to women, it's all about sex to you. They gonna run that. They gonna run you. At some point, you gonna meet your match. You got to be able to say no at times. There's some brothers out there that just can't say no. Now, some people. I was reading the chats while y'all were talking, and people were like, oh, the ballet sounds boring and this and that. The ballet is boring to some people. You know what I mean? And that's part of my game. If I find somebody who is not as cultured, right, and I'm like, I'm done playing, I'm done blowing her back out. I'm like, hey, why don't you come to this opera? Why don't you come to this ballet? Why don't you come to whatever, this quartet? And she doesn't want to do it. And I'm like, oh, this isn't gonna work. Game, you gotta go. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just done with you anyway. But I'm gonna blame it on the lack of culture. You know what I mean? It's all game.
The arts is here's the thing about the arts. It's a big deal, and it's just something new because most women aren't taking on those kind of days. Something exciting. And here's the thing with me: I might not be the ballet guy, but I do enjoy a good off-Broadway play.
There you go. Same thing.
It's a lot of fun, and more men need to do more cool stuff for ourselves too. Like I like a good date because I like a good date. It's not
you want that experience. You want to
y'all stay in the club. Stay out of the culture world. Let me run my culture game. Y'all stay over there.
I have a good life. I like fun.
Yes, that's what you want. For her. I don't know. The world class. What's up, Noble says. What you're saying is true. He agreed with, again, not necessarily an emphasis on looks, more emphasis on wifeliness or traditional feminine traits as far as in relationships. We don't marry 8 through 10s. I call them breeders. Yikes.
Oh, damn.
Ooh. All right, we're going to keep it all the way real then? Is that what's happening here?
Looks like it.
It's a numbers game for Gen Xers. there are 600,000 more single Black women than single Black men. So y'all just lining them up. Ooh. So
And I was going to
many-
ask Brother Andre that. Like, he's in Atlanta. Like, what's the ratio down there? It's always been more women than men down there, right?
There's a lot of women. There's a lot of women.
Yeah, you probably swimming in it. You're 6'2". Oh my God, you're probably swimming in it.
So here's the deal with me.
No
right?
wonder
so,
you're getting these beauties. Yeah, I get that. You and ATL. I get
a
that.
lot of the women I meet though are from different states.
Right.
So I can bring women in, go see them because I have a certain income level. So I'm open to dating long distance.
They get flu.
They get
flu. My boyfriend flew me out here. My boyfriend flew
flu.
me. Okay.
If I'm into her,
I
I'll put her on a Delta.
Oh my!
Now, Brother Andre, let me ask you this, bro. Do you worry about possibly leading with your wallet?
So here's the deal. They can't get what I don't give them.
All right.
It's over. Like, I know when to say no. I know when I'm just uncomfortable doing XYZ because I'm uncomfortable doing XYZ. Maybe I'm not into her that much. Or maybe, I'm doing too much without her doing something back for me. So
like rent might be.
Have I ever overspent on a woman? Sure, I have. Is it a normal occurrence? No, because I have a line. I got a line that I'm not going to go past.
So rent might be cool. Rent might be off the table, but you know what? I'll buy you a nice pair of Prada glasses. Like, you would do something like that, or
how much a Prada glass?
Depends on what you get, but you're looking at 300. $300 to $500 depends on what kind you get or whatever.
Yeah. That's no big deal.
All right, so
every day, but once in a while.
Once in a while.
Y'all so funny. Not every day.
I bought a woman's stocks before. Helped her set up an IRA, Roth IRA.
Was that a person that you were really into?
It was. Yeah, I was into her. Yeah.
Okay.
But don't you worry that that's dangerously close to simping? But like, I guess you say, well, it's what you want to do.
Into her and she's into you.
So it's, again, it's not the first day or the first month or the first few months. So let's establish that. I've gotten something tangible from her before I've started doing these things. It might not be an equal dollar amount, but we've had some exchanges ahead of time.
What does that mean?
That means that somebody's toes was curled up. That's what it means. Somebody's toes was curled up.
Or she cooked for me a few times, or she bought me.
It wasn't about the cooking, Andre. Come on now. It wasn't about the cooking. Let's go.
Cook is a big deal for me.
Oh, okay.
Just the visual of a fine woman in the kitchen with an apron on, Lord of mercy.
Okay. And then the dessert.
That's the far I know. So that's the big deal for me. And in my book, you get it's just oozes femininity and ladylike qualities and all that stuff. So that's the big deal for me.
What do y'all say? What do y'all say about dudes like this champion lover? Is that what y'all say? You know what I'm saying?
And here's the deal with the stocks. We're talking about here's the deal with the stocks of the Roth IRA, right? If I'm going on a date, which I am paying for the high majority of the dates, right? So if a date is $200 or $250, and I say, okay, we're going to stay in tonight. How about you cook and let's get you 2 shares of XYZ stocks? It's an equal dollar cost analysis. It's just going to the stocks rather than us going on that date that night. So I don't look at it as something. And no, I'm not doing it for every woman.
Well, y'all got game. Y'all out here buying stocks.
Bro, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. If we was on my platform, it'll be shots fired. It'll be this right here. If we was on my platform,
going to a ballet in the stocks.
No, wait, y'all, we got way off the topic. Hold on, let me bring up Wrench Turner. Welcome, Wrench Turner. How are you?
Thanks. What up?
Nice to see you.
All right, how's it going? Can you hear me?
Of course. Thank you. Thank you for being a part of today's show. Thank you for your generosity on the super and the support of the content. So how are you? Do you know this guy over here?
I'm doing well. That is brother Andre Hatchett, man. It's been a couple of seasons, but we used to talk to a lot of the brothers before.
Okay.
Brother Kevin really just blew up in the manosphere. We did a lot of work behind the scenes with trying to help brothers get to that next level.
Wonderful. So right group of people for the conversation. And actually, I see you on the back also. Let me bring up the world class. Hey, Noble, how are you?
Good day. How are you? What's going on, gentlemen?
Hey,
what's good, brother?
Glad to have you. Okay, we got a full crew. Let's go of the high value men in this space. And again, I character I characterize character as one of the traits that I most emphasize. And again, we've been talking about more of a Kevin Samuels definition, which is income of a certain amount in a certain circle that kind of reflects that. You being of value to not only your friend group, your networking, respected in your community kind of thing. And seeing what these high value, so-called, again, because character for me, want, and what they should be doing or just what they are doing on the dating scene, and kind of describing that for those of us who are curious about it. So Wrench Turner, I'll start with you. Do you agree with some of what you've heard, or what would you want to add?
Absolutely. Brother Andre hit it right on the mark. You know, another thing to think about too is a lot of the brothers who have that ability to generate that much money monthly, these are really sharp brothers in the sense of they've mastered something to be able to bring in that much income. And a lot of times what you run into, and it's not with all sisters, but a lot of times what you run into, you'll run into sisters who have this idea that they are really, they want to go back and forth and have this mental of us. We really don't have the energy to do it. But I think for a lot of the sisters, man, God bless them.
I'm sorry, I had cut you off by a quick second, trying to make it just this screen because I'm a producer as well as a host. But you said a lot of sisters want to go back and forth, and then mentally you said something. What was your point right there?
It's like a mental jousting. And it's like they get, and I understand it from their perspective. They say, okay, I want to test myself against this guy who appears to be high value, right? If they're familiar with St. Kevin's body of work, but a lot of times they have this thing where they want to debate, or they want to talk about, they want to talk about different kind of subjects. But for most of us, man, we're just looking for you to be a soft, feminine woman. We're not trying to be in competition with you, not trying to be at odds with you. Now, there are times we've had a couple drinks and we get on the topic where we really need to go back and forth, because every now and then you gotta put it out there. But for the most part, most guys who generate that much money, we're not trying to compete with.
So give me an idea of this mental joust that you described, or this competition that you described. What would that look like in real life if you were dating somebody and you were like, nah, this sister is off the team? What would that be like when you say that mental joust?
You can look at. I'll give you a very good example. So you can look at something like a lot of Kevin Samuels talking points. We'll use an easy one. So when you talk about the stats and the data that he brings up, even though these are stats and this is data, and you can look this stuff up, a lot of times they'll say, well, I disagree. And it's like, well, if we can't agree on something that we both are sitting here physically looking at, right? Then it goes from being a debate, or it goes from being a friendly exchange to, for us, especially in my case, I deal with data a lot. It's like,
meaning like what? Give me an example. Stats, data. People who may not be familiar, what are you referring to specifically?
Yeah. So when Brother Kevin talks about more than half of Black men being childless, and or he talks about women leaving relationships, 80% of marriages, those type of things. Right. And I don't know them all right off the top of my head.
Okay, so those type of things. What about in a relationship? So let's move from outside of a relationship to in a relationship. What would that look like if it would be a turnoff to you?
The mental jousting, or just
mental jousting. Because I can understand if you're getting ready to meet somebody and you're dating and someone is telling you, no, this is not real. And you're like, okay, no, I can't even deal with you. I get that. When you're in a relationship, when you say you want femininity, you want support, and you don't have time for mental jousting, I'm sure it's beyond the, you don't agree with me on Kevin Samuel facts. What would that look like in terms of real life dating, or in a relationship with somebody that something is a turn off to a high value man?
Yeah, so we can be talking about something that's, it doesn't necessarily have to be in a relationship. I'll give you an example. I dated a young lady who, she was in a relationship, but her best friend was a guy, right? And my position was, I was like, bro, I would never sign up for that. It's clear to me I wouldn't sign up for it.
You mean she couldn't have a guy as a best friend?
Nah. In my personal opinion, if I had a female best friend, she would probably be my wife. That's my opinion. That's not universal to everybody, but that's not something that I would ever sign up for. Matter of fact, that's one of the boxes I checked in the up front in the beginning.
Okay. All right. Just wanted to get some differences of perspectives. Let me bring the other guys in.
Sure.
Bringing back my special guest, Mr. 𝗗𝗔𝗧𝗜𝗡𝗚, the world class. We talking about dating as a high value men. Do all of you consider yourself to be high value men up here?
Yes.
Yes.
Nope.
Okay. No.
Your religious title, no.
No, I mean it's if you look, I mean, there's the criteria there. If you meet the criteria, like 6 feet or taller, 6 figures or more, and what's the other one? Fit,
Height's
like
not
you're in
part
shape.
of it.
No, but some people,
Height is not
Kevin will
part
say
of
that, and it depends
Kevin
on what.
wanna say height. Kevin want to add height.
So is a difference between what women want and what would qualify to be high value.
Yes,
but
I agree.
You're saying women value that among the traits of a desirable man. Is that what you're saying, DL?
I would say when it comes to this sort of discussion, always it revolves around what man is good at securing, and I'm trying to use a good term, like sexual access. What guy is good at going out and actually meeting women and engaging with women? You could be broke, living in your grandma's basement, and get on women. You know what I mean? Because getting into relationships is really difficult. It's really difficult to get a woman. And I think a lot of women don't understand how hard it is for men to get that access. There's a lot of dudes that have zero, physical access with women, and they have no intimacy with women at all. So when I look at stuff like that, I'm like, well, that could put you in that top tier if you good at quote unquote womanizing, and I don't mean that in a negative term. So all the other stuff like the money and all that kind of stuff. I mean, like you said, we said at the top of the show or whatever, there's a lot of guys out there with money, but they don't know what they're doing with women, and they're losing it. They wind up going to court. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
You're saying your definition is different from the Kevin Samuels definition. I get it.
And not just like Kevin Samuels, the manosphere or whatever. Like there's a lot of people out there saying a lot of things.
Right.
At the end of the day, are you making an impact on your world, on your community, or are you looked at, and do people come to you for advice and things of that nature? Or are you a leader? And that's what I kind of look at personally.
I think that's a part of it. We talked about that influence. We talked about respect, having influence in a circle of people. Anybody want to add anything?
Yeah, my mentor, he always mentioned it as affluent. And I was in a circle with him and a brother that from South Carolina that owned a bank, a brother. And they always talked about respect and what do you do with your money. And a lot of people say they make money, but he told me it's not about what you make, it's how much you save. And it's not even about how much you save, it's about what impact are you making on people around you. So like I said, I don't take the high value man identity because I'm a consecrated and appointed missionary in the More Sons Temple of America. So
okay, so you don't even use that language. I get it.
Yeah,
I get
Hey,
it.
look,
I just don't use the language.
D38, only confident guys can accept male friends.
Let's talk about that. Yeah,
Shots fired. Shots
talk
fired.
about
Okay.
I did my job.
I don't know any dudes. I know very few men. If we are into a woman, like romantically into a woman as her being our woman, we're cool with her casually having a bunch of male friends, and especially a best friend.
Straight up.
Just did a video on that fact.
Straight up.
Damn.
Literally
I'm
my last
okay with
video.
you having male friends like that. I'm not that into you, and I look at you as a very casual thing.
You won't be here
so
long.
partner.
You won't be here long.
Okay.
Preach a hatchet. That's what we'll call you. Preach a hatchet.
Preach your hatchet. That's my
Oh, sweet. Thank you, Miss Creative. You're very kind. All right. So the last good man in Jersey, nice to see you, says basically some women want to wrestle you over leadership. That's what I was kind of trying to understand with Wrench Turner. And that's when things go south. So high value men are not going to, in a general sense, are not going to want to have to battle anyone for, I guess, leadership in their household, speaking of that specifically.
Correct.
They know they come in, they're going to take, what'd you say, what'd you call it, Andre? Some guidance, but after they've heard it,
leadership, all that.
We doing this, and that's what we doing. Are you ready, set, go? Like that kind of thing. And that is a much more traditional viewpoint, I think, than what's being pushed out here a lot now, where I call it, again, the natural thing that comes out of my mouth, even without thinking, is called partnership. but it sounds like that is not necessarily the dynamic that many or the majority of high value men that you guys know or in your circles, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm asking the question, kind of look for. It has to be much more of a, I'm leading, you are following. I appreciate you giving, feedback, guidance, whatever you want to call it. But at the end of the day, this is, my ship, I'm the captain here, that kind of thing. Is that
Absolutely
accurate?
Perfect. You put it perfectly. Yeah.
And also, if I could add to that, just for perspective, a lot of us, depending on what industry you're in, right? A lot of us, we don't want to have to think for our mate, right? We want to be able to trust that you can make the right decisions. You've been watching the way I've been moving. And even if you make a decision that, and it's not saying that you have to be perfect. If you make a decision and it's not the right decision, don't get defensive. Like, be upfront about it. Hey, listen, this is why I did it. I thought it would go out. I thought it would happen this way. I probably should have talked to you before. Or, hey, so it's not a dictatorship. That's the part that a lot of people get twisted, is that we come in and we're tyrants and we're dictators. It's not that. We want a woman who can think on her own. We want a woman who can make decisions and really lighten the load on a lot of the stuff that we really entrust her to take care of. It's not a dictatorship.
Okay, yes, understood. TTO said, want a woman to cook, clean, and have babies, but she's supposed to be Einstein. I don't know about
that. I don't know, but I mean,
Einstein?
Yeah.
Or is she trying to raise baby Einstein? Is that what you mean? Or I don't know. Go ahead.
I didn't get that either, but here's the thing. Like, relationships are difficult, right? I mean, we know that. YouTube, the book world, everything is about relationships. People are looking for the golden pill, they're looking for that cheat code. Here's the thing, y'all. It's hard work, right? So when you're talking about, men who've gone out there and made their mark on the world, and then you talk about women who've gone out there and made their mark on the world, that's great. Like, if you're a woman out there and, you're making $300,000 a year and you are killing it.
Not many women.
Which is not many women. But if you are killing it, fine, right? That woman is going to have a hard time finding a dude that makes as much as she does or more, which, again, we talked about that on the show that Suzette had on here, talking about hypergamy.
Breeze dropped it in the chat. Go back and watch me and DL's The Truth About Hypergamy show. Wonderful show, DL.
It's a great show now. And here's the thing. That particular woman, a lot of people are saying this on the red pill side of the world. She has turned herself into the man that she wants. Let's just shout out to Rollo Tomasi. She's never going to find that guy. So when you get to the guys who have the same thing, the dude has the bag. He has the leverage. He can choose. I think Brother Andre was talking about that. A true guy with options, he doesn't even think about one-nighters. He ain't worried about that. If you're not going to get on his program, he's simply going to move on. He's not going to call you nasty names. He'll probably give you a nice gift. You know what I mean? Brother Andre will give you some stocks, a little buyout on the way. Like,
that's terrible.
Just set up that Roth IRA.
He set up that Roth for you, get you going, but he leaving, and he is not coming back. So ladies, that's all we're trying to say.
Jesus. All right, let me read this super chat. Go ahead. Who want to add? Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think the opposite. I don't think relationships is hard. I think what's happening is people trying to use false supplementation and false compensation, using relationships with false supplementation and false compensation for some consumer experience. You're trying to reenact some movie or some TV show, or how you are affected by hearing a story in a salon, and it has nothing to do with being in a relationship. I heard a lot of people say a lot of stupid stuff like relationship is about compromise. No, dum-dum. The word relate is in the word. It's supposed to be about how you guys relate. The compromising is not supposed to be about between you two. It's supposed to be based off the circumstances in the land you live in and at the time you live in. So compromise. When men hear compromise, we think integrity. We're not about to compromise integrity. A lot of the plans and foundations that we have already includes, these extreme cases that may or may not come up. And I think that's kind of the prelude to what we've been talking about in terms of who's in charge, who needs to be making a decision. The man is going to make the emotionless decision and just run the numbers. Or she's going to worry about a bunch of things.
Well, brother, world class. Let me ask you this: Could you consider compromise a leadership tactic, a leadership style?
No.
I would definitely push back on you. I know when I'm in, leadership in the real world in the field, you're gonna have to compromise sometimes when you just get the mission done.
Even in administrative law, it's called conditional acceptance. I can conditionally accept something. I'm not compromising. No.
Let me think about that.
I'm gonna look that up. You said conditional acceptance. I'm gonna look that up. All right. Thank you, brother. Appreciate that.
Me thinking, Noble. Thank you. I want to shout out. I'm sorry I missed this earlier. Diamond Dave on
Diamond
the
Dave, what up?
Thank you so much for the love. Appreciate you being here. Says many of the high value man crowd on YouTube desire a woman they see as raised as traditional, quote unquote. Are they traditional outside of income? Who taught those men? And I would add to be men. Is there a double standard? Is this a part of the identity of high value men? You want
there are more
necessarily in this traditional household, raised traditionally, but who is teaching you? I guess who wants to take that?
The tradition failed though. It failed.
Tell us
That's how we got to look at it. So we have to just like I said, a lot of guys that champion the high value, that champion the 60s. You forget that, or the 50s. I'm sorry. It led to everything that happened in the 70s. It failed. So we have to look at how do we now update our understanding and adapt and, incorporate the things that are good. Look at this time how to invent something, innovate, which makes us rich when we do it with ourselves, which makes us free. I'm more free than anything, probably more free than most people. I just think that we don't look at that time correctly. And we really aren't doing traditions. We're really doing some perverted understanding of what happened back in the day.
Yeah, and when you're talking about YouTube, a lot of YouTube guys are out there faking it till they make it. It's the thing, y'all. You got guys out there. I mean, it's YouTube millionaires out there, right? So they're doing and saying what they need to do and say to drive their sales. So y'all got to be careful of that too.
Bingo.
You know what I mean? So, they saw traditional, this, that, and the third. Man, they don't care. Like, especially in the red, the pickup artistry thing, them dudes have zero game. They don't know what they're talking about. They couldn't pick up a woman, you know what I mean, if she was metal and they were a magnet.
Let me give you a solo. Go ahead.
Right, but these guys are out there making money. Like they're killing it because there are a lot of lost dudes out there. And to Brother World's class point, people are out here trying to find, trying to fit into this fractured narrative of traditional, like the norm. Like there's a new norm now. There is no norm. And if you go into even in the chats, Ms. Globe Girl was saying, if I got to choose between getting the bag and getting a high value guy, I'm going to get the bag. I can't be mad at her for saying that. You know what I mean? I can't be mad at her for saying that. But at the end of the day, or how are we as a people? Like, look what was Brother Kevin Samuels, rest in peace. He was doing what he could to bring the community together, trying to bring black people together. Our community has been decimated. We know this. And yet here we are cracking jokes and talking all this craziness about high value, this, that, and the third. Meanwhile, we're still single. You know what I mean? And you know what I mean? Like, yeah, we're still single. Yeah, get with the program. Meanwhile, men, and I throw me in there when I was young. I was out there getting it. That's it. I wasted so much time that I'll never get back, which means there are things I could have bought. I was getting cars I couldn't afford. I could have got property in my 20s, but I was so worried about getting me a little Audi or BMW so I can get more chicks. You know what I mean? Meanwhile, brother Andre up here is probably riding around back then in this Honda Accord, getting property after property, buying stocks and killing it. Yeah, look at him. He's a millionaire. You know what I'm saying? So there's stuff like that, y'all. We're missing it.
Yeah. Andre, you want to add something?
I'm not a millionaire yet.
Okay, it's all good. We're on our way. Yes.
No. It was a great point. So I believe in this, right? If we give ourselves 3 to 5 years of grind work, at the end of that, we can usually have whatever we want. But there's usually 3 to 5 consistent years of sacrifice. For me, I'm more of a practical entrepreneur. I don't do a lot of high risk endeavors at this point in my life. At 40, maybe 45, 50, I'll do some risky stuff. But right now, it's what works. I have a notary business. It works. I've been getting paid every friggin' week since I got my stamp 16 years ago, right? My online academies, they've worked. I've taught over 20,000 people. My real estate, it works. Where if men do want to desire, if men desire to have more income, I would even say this: skip even the passion, what you really want to do per se. If it's not paying you, do what's working, do what will give you income, do what will help you grow your net worth, stocks, real estate, or a boring, safe business, and rock out with that. Then do what you want to do later. That's some of the best advice that I've ever gotten and had through my own life with me and my friends circle. Do what's needed. Then at the end of it, do what you want to do. If your goal is to have a stay-home wife, get two to three duplexes, and in 3 to 4 years, she won't have to work. End of story.
Do what it takes, and then buckle down, focus, and then you can have what you want. I think a lot of people
you want to do.
I've had that conversation with men, and they were like, just do something that makes money. And I'm a woman. I can't. Like, well, I mean, I have to do what I enjoy.
You are a woman. You're
I'm just saying, like, in terms of choosing something that I absolutely find boring and just like, okay, but it makes money. It hurt my heart. Like, I couldn't do it. Like, I was like, that's why I'm in media. Like, I had to have that other outlet for me as a person, or I would be dying inside.
I get it.
But
and I would say it sounds like Brother Andre was saying chase excellence, not women, and that's it, right? And that's Rich Cooper. Shout out to Rich Cooper, and that's one of the hardcore guys in the manosphere. Yep. That's what he says: chase excellence, not women. And if we push this narrative out to the youngins, it was somebody in the chat was talking about young guys. I think it was 𝗩𝗚𝗚. You know what I mean? If we push that narrative out to young men, maybe we could start to make a change. 𝗩𝗚𝗚 was talking about, business compromising and stuff like that. When it comes to relationships, I used to think that. I used to think, you know what? I'm just going to find me a woman that's going to be a merger, right? I'm going to do me a Ben Affleck. Let me find me a woman that's worth 4 times what I'm worth. You're still fine. And let me go ahead and get her, because I know that, her options are limited. But I sat down, I really thought about it, and I talked to my friends about it, my circle. And they're like, bro, man, you putting way too much into this, man. Like, seriously, you might as well just stay single if that's what you're trying to do. You know what I mean? Like, you looking at it like, like a corporate, hostile takeover.
Merger.
Like, what kind of, relationship is that? And I was like, you're right. And I had to sit down and rethink my position.
Listen, there's so many jokes in the chat right now. I can't even keep up. But thank you for everybody for being here, rocking with us. Suzette Speaks here with who you see in the center, top center there, Mr. Andre C. Hatchet. Go check out his channel. Talking business, talking relationships tonight, though. Dating habits, or dating as a high value man. What are they looking for? What are they doing out here in these streets? What do they really want? Trish asks. Thank you. Also, again, a wonderful supporter. One of the top supporters on the channel. Thank you so much. Gentlemen, what do you feel about a business smart woman giving you ideas to consider executing? Do y'all want that? As high value people want that? Or y'all get in that kitchen? Shh. Get in that kitchen. No. I don't want to see you.
You can give ideas from the kitchen. You can talk in the kitchen. You don't have a muzzle on the kitchen.
Shh.
No, that
I'm
is
not for any of this.
Right.
Y'all can take this one by one. Go ahead, Andre.
I do appreciate, even if she's not a businesswoman, maybe a business-minded woman, a woman who could see the holes that I have in my life. Because I'm not. High value doesn't mean perfect, right? So I have holes, right? So I look for a woman who can fill in the holes, and I want a woman who desires to fill in the holes. She sees that I need some new shirts. She orders the shirts, right? Stuff like that is more important to me than maybe even you paying part of the mortgage. Because if I had the new fly shirts, I can go make some more money, and I don't have to worry about it. So
Okay.
Yes, a woman's intellect is a big deal. We appreciate
but
that.
you don't want the girls with the degrees, though. Is that true for the high value?
I did not say that.
The girls with the degrees?
I didn't say that. I only date women. I've only dated a woman with a degree or two. So yeah. So here's the deal, right? And most women don't want to pay for stuff anyway. So if she's
say it again, bro. Say that one more time.
Most women don't want to pay for a bunch of stuff anyway. So if you're working 50 or 60 hours a week and you can't come home and cook, and the woman's making 30 grand a year opposed to your 150 or 200, and none of y'all want to pay for stuff, I'm gonna get the woman who got more time to cook.
Okay.
That's the
But
yes,
this is a premise I
intellect
want to
matters.
get to because okay, answer this question first about ideas. DL, what say you? Do you want the thoughtful woman? Because I keep hearing, y'all degrees don't matter to us. Y'all wasted y'all's time in
Well,
school. You should have been having babies and
but
relaxing.
hold on, Suzette. No one
So
said
you
you
don't
wasted your
want,
time. No one
this is
said you
not
wasted your time.
not on this panel tonight, but the
Okay.
argument I've been hearing out here, just somewhere in these YouTube streets, I'm not going to call any names, is that this is, you guys messed up by going to school and getting 1 or 2 or 3 degrees, Miss PhD. No one wants your degrees. And then I hear you want people that are thoughtful, people who can bring you ideas, people who can, see ahead of time what you need, fulfill the need, be kind of, again, helping you to masterfully orchestrate this vision. Like, okay, babe, I got you. I see where we're going with this and helping and filling those gaps. Not that you need a degree to do that, but there is a higher probability. I don't know. I could maybe just because I see myself in this. I'm sorry for projecting. There are possibilities that a person with a degree or who is a little bit more educated and open-hearted and kind at the same time, can offer that are different from maybe a woman without. Do you all see that difference? Does that difference matter to you? Am I making up that difference?
Here's the thing. Women with degrees, they went to school to get degrees to make money. Mm-hmm. That was the whole point. You go to college, you're going to make more money. On average, over a lifetime, I think they say you make $1 million more if you have a college degree versus over your lifetime versus someone who does not. All right. So you don't need a degree to add value and be integral to a man's life. I mean, you look at the great queens of history, like the show we did about warrior women. Leonidas of Sparta from 300 fame. His wife, the queen of Sparta, was a beast. She didn't have any degrees. You know what I mean? So
back in the day, that's not the same.
But the same thing. But here's the thing. We're talking about a certain segment of the population. We're talking about men. We're talking about high value dudes. It's all about dudes who have a lot of money, right? So when you get into the top, single digit percentage of earners in this country, guys who are making well into the 6 figures, 7 figures and up, they don't care how much money you make. That's what that comes. But they're not saying they don't care about your education. They don't care about the work you put in. They're not saying that. What they're saying is money ain't a thing. So who cares about your degree if, like Brother Andrew was saying, if you refuse to go in the kitchen and make dinner? Yes, I can hire somebody to cook us dinner, but why won't you cook me dinner? You're my wife. You know what I mean? So that's what they're getting at. It's not that you're worthless because you have all these degrees and you have all this debt and you have this, that, and the third, whatever. That's not what they're saying. They're saying when you get to these type dudes, your money don't mean anything to them because they have a lot of money.
Okay, I hear you.
But
you want a thinking woman.
Yes.
You don't want a thinking woman.
No, you want a thinking woman. Again, you was talking about in the YouTube streets. Like I said, there are a lot of those fake it till you make it guys, those YouTube guys. Be careful who you listen to. What was Brother Andre, what did you just say?
We don't want a dominant woman. We want a thinking woman, but not a dominant woman.
Okay.
We want a woman who has degrees but doesn't lead with degrees. That's not her, her major.
You gotta love me and my PhD. What you saying though?
We love you and your PhD, but we don't care. I mean, that's what they're saying. Like, baby, we got a private jet.
PhD. I hear you.
We got a private jet. We got our own 737. What do we care? Those are great degrees, but we got a 737. Come on, baby. We about to go to Milan. Like, what are we going to talk about on the flight to Milan? It's just us on this big plane.
Point taken. So they do want ideas. Did you have anything to add, Wrench Turner or the World Class?
Yeah,
in terms
absolutely.
of getting ideas from your woman or just having her follow the plan that you lay out?
Yeah, so I don't want to use myself as an example because I don't want to come off like that. What I would say is the ideas are fine, right? If she has a track record of making good decisions and somebody who genuinely wants to help and is not in a masculine energy, then a lot of us will hear damn near anything she got to say. I mean, if you're a sweet feminine woman and we laying there watching what is that? All of them, a lot of the sisters like to watch P Valley or something like that. We laying there.
P Valley, okay.
And not me. I watched one
I'm
episode.
not watching
I was done.
I hear about it, but I'm not watching.
Yeah, I was done after one episode. But we laying there, and you running your nails, across through the beard or something. And hey, you know what? I was thinking, boom, 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 boom.
Babe, yeah. I saw a ticket for Australia that was so cheap. Should we?
Exactly, man. Let's pull it up on the phone.
Check that out.
Pull it up on the
It's
phone.
said in a nice way. It goes a long way.
Pull it up on the phone. Just
remember
like
you wanted to visit that guy in Australia. What do you think?
But if that's your husband, it's not. You don't have to do that. Hey, baby, let's go to Australia. I've done everything. It's all right here.
And that would might be seen as dominant.
Okay. Well, it boils down to the guy.
You know they got to finesse you. It's like a daily quality.
You know what? A lot of times we'll let them finesse.
Okay, make us feel like we are.
We'll let them finesse.
Okay. I love it. Thank you so much. Go ahead, Richard.
That's the beautiful part about the red pill, though, is it's not hating women. That's a part of it. Those are the guys those rose-colored glasses come off, and they are shocked at the nature of a woman, right? But for those of us who have kind of been around these spaces for a long time, and you just understand the nature of women, and you say, okay, I have a better understanding of who women are or what women are. Now let me move accordingly, right? It's not about hating women. It's not about the guys that you see that are screaming at the top of their lungs and they're angry. That's called red pill rage. They've been through some things. They've been raised to think that this thing is supposed to go a certain way if you do these things. And when it doesn't and it doesn't work, those are the guys that you see that are having a hard time and they're just now getting to these spaces. So
wow, good word, because I think some people clump all quote red pill together, and I think I've seen degrees, and even like I said, DL and I getting to know each other on these YouTube streets has been also very eye opening, because I'm like, you're cooler than what I thought you would be.
She was like red pill run.
I was like, I don't know if you should be over here, but he's opened my eyes to a lot of things as well. Some of it I cannot digest. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm like, DL, don't forward me any more of this person. I'm okay. but I think it's good to kind of hear it, because again, I think I don't know, my own life, I can't say we as women, but a lot of sheltering goes on when it comes to what men really want. Yes. And I don't know why we do that. I don't think it serves us. I don't think it's serving the community, so that we get married and find people. But I don't know why men are getting this kind of rose-colored narrative too. And I think sometimes that reality is shocking on both sides. Wrench Turner, it's shocking for y'all when y'all realize, wait, women don't want you to just buy them all these gifts and they'll love you. No. And then we're like, wait a minute, you want to actually, have a feminine, if you will, energy led person, if you will. And we've been taught this whole be strong. I mean, we were going to talk about I was thinking about us doing another show with TD Jakes. I don't know if you guys made a comment recently talking about we raising women to be men. I was like, oh, not Mr. Jakes, not the preacher coming into certain conversations. Which is funny.
You know who else said that in history?
Who?
Xerxes. The Persian, the Persian, really? Xerxes in history, when he was trying to invade and the whole Spartan 300 thing, Xerxes said that. He said that he was like, my women are made of men parts and my men are made of women parts. And he was just saying women have become men and men have become women because his admiral, his most fearsome seafaring warrior was female. And that's look it up. Xerxes said that.
Complaining about this, y'all, from 2000 BC or whatever it was.
300 BC
history. Go ahead.
Here's the deal with that part, right? If a man says he's looking for a strong woman, which are men who say that, just be prepared to pay half or more than half of the bills.
Man, they say that when dudes say that, man, it's cap, bro. I got to put my cap on now, man. That's
if a guy says, hey, Suzette, man, you're dope, you're strong. If you just
DL.
Just
be ready to be prepared to pay. He's
half on it, more than half on DL.
Ain't nobody. Look. Listen, man, and just keep it 100. Women say that, they say it all the time, and they get so upset when the dude just pays his half. You know what I mean? They get so. Andrew Chase out there, he's trending now. He was going back and forth with some French dude, I don't know, some Twitch guy who was saying, you know, if you're upstairs in your bedroom with your wife, your significant other, the woman you love, and some burglars come into the house, who's gonna go downstairs to confront the burglars? And the guy was like, nobody, or both of us go, or she could go because she's a better shot.
Who
like,
said that? Stop
I'll send you the clip. That is all over YouTube right now. And here's the thing.
Wow.
Right, fellas, what is y'all take on that?
Like an Army Ranger.
Man,
okay, maybe.
I'm from Texas, bro. You already know what time it is.
But I was about to say, the average woman is not going to see who had the door. No,
that's Bun B. Ask Bun B about that. Somebody came in Bun B house. He went down there with that thing. You know what I mean? And took care of business. You know what I mean? You ain't. I'm sorry. There's always going to be that masculine burden of performance, and that's the way I was raised. I will never, Suzette. We're just friends. But if we're walking down the street,
platonic, no.
But I'm saying we're associates. If we're walking down the street, coming from one event, going to another event, business, and some guy jumps out, I'm going to engage him so you can get away. I'm not going to sit there and be like, well, it's whoever's fastest. I guess whoever's going to get away is the one who's fastest today. Nah, I'm going
to cover each other. You can equally cover me. I can equally cover you.
You can't equally cover me because you don't carry. I do. So how you gonna equally carry? How you gonna equally cover me? But my point. But you see what I'm saying? That's clown talk. I'm gonna put my hat back on.
Okay, that's very interesting. Let me get this super chat in. Nelson Counseling, thank you so much. We did a wonderful show. Y'all better go get them views up. The Mental Health Men Hide was Saturday's show, and it was so good. Shout out to Nelson's Counseling. Go check him out. Great content about different personality disorders, things that we don't like to acknowledge, especially in our communities of color, Black people. So we don't like to say that we got actual maybe chemical, something wrong in terms of our own anatomy. This thing that didn't fire off properly or is slow or only producing this amount. You got actual replacements to help balance us, our mood, depression, all that. He was so great. Thank you for being over here and for your generosity. Saying, question.
I got to email that brother.
Yes, DL said he wants you on the show.
We ain't finished, cuz I got to email you.
He was like, fresh and fit. No, DL was like, okay, no, I'm gonna need you on my show. But shout out to Nelson Counseling. Check out his channel. Please drop it in the chat.
Salute to him.
Again. Says, question for the high value men. What are some of the things you do to make society better? Wow. Without seeking compensation for it.
Good question.
Who wants to take that? Go ahead.
Man, that's
take
all
leadership.
That's all I've done for years. I help a lot of people become vegan, lose weight. A lot of people have started channels, 40-something thousand subscribers, something like that, and businesses. Wow. I've done it for years, helping people be healthy, helping people with self-deletion issues. I'm at 100% so far.
Wow.
I'm proud of that.
Congrats.
It happens a lot. Yeah, thank you. I mean, that's the important things. I've never in no situation where I've consulted with anybody have I ever charged anybody anything. And I know most people can't afford me. So I just think of myself as an infinite deposit. I'm here to make everything better, and that's just how I operate. So I think
giving without any reward or anything in return to anybody else?
I'm more valuable than $1. I'll give you me. You'll be
right now. Okay.
I'll share what I've done. So a large percentage of my life is pro bono work. I just don't talk about it much, but I coached youth basketball as late teens, and in my late teens to mid 20s, second to fifth graders. Even had a summer league a few summers. Today, one of the guys from my hometown messaged me. He's interested in becoming a mobile notary. I do charge for the high majority of my programs, but I said, hey, look, I can't mentor you one-on-one. I don't have the kind of time anymore, but here go 2 free classes there. I moderate Kevin Samuel's Facebook group. That's pro bono. I'm in 2 to 3 men's. I'm in 2 to 3 men's groups, men's support groups, whether business, life, or relationship, or otherwise. So a good amount of my life is done pro bono. But I am a businessman, so I don't talk about all the free work I do, because then everyone's gonna want the free stuff.
Nah, free don't pay them bills. Hey,
listen.
What? I look back, sometimes I be giving these long conversations. I know I'm not a high value man, but I'm just saying. Never one thing people want from me is listen to them.
Yes.
And that's
like,
that.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's huge.
Want to talk right now? Let's go. Let's talk.
Yeah, and it's the same thing too. Yeah, saving people lives and getting out there like Brother Andre and Brother World just said. Same thing. You got to get out there. You help. I've helped men, young men, older men, guys my age, older than me, younger than me, do things like structure, like how to start businesses, talking about LLCs, talking about formations, talking about how to lead. You know what I mean? Like what have I had done? You know what I mean? If people want to call me high value, so be it. A top tier guy, so be it. What have I done? I've done everything I can to help people, to help strangers. It was strangers who helped me. Right? I'm 50 years old. Well, almost 52 now. I'm retired. Right? The first one in my family's ever been to do something like that. You know what I mean? I get involved politically, and I encourage others to do so. And I hold people to the fire. Like I remind people why they did things. And yeah, a lot of that stuff was pro bono. I've mentored men and women. Just let people hang out with me. I come around, I introduce them to different circles, introduce them to things they were never exposed to show them that it can be done. You know, these sort of things. And I think that's very important. And I've been doing this for free, but that's going to have to change because there's a lot of people coming out the woodwork. Yeah, there's a lot of people. And it's a lot of work. So there are people I work with that I would never charge, but moving forward, there's going to be people who come to me, with YouTube and all that, the names getting out there, folks are coming to me. It's like, now it's about time. Now I'm not charging you because I need money. I'm charging you to see how committed you are because I don't want to waste my time.
Bingo.
Right. No, people think again, I might need to create another level on my Patreon for that listen and feedback thing because it is time, and I could be doing other things, and not that persons are not valuable. But yeah, it is time. I'm a single woman. I break bread for myself. I don't got nobody breaking bread with me, right? So each
you need some stocks, girl. Let me hit that E-Trade account, girl. Let me hit that.
Exactly. So I'm over here like, I want to help, but it's only 24 hours today, so can't talk right now. But
hey, Suzette, I got a button for that for what Brother Andre just did. I got a button for that. You want to hear it?
Holla, 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 holla.
Something like that. I love it. I love it. But it sounds like I agree with your point. On a serious note, Nelson Counseling, that high value men give back, help with mentoring and development of the next generation or colleague or whoever. It's not about you and the selfishness and the eternal ego. That's not what we're talking about here. So I agree with you. Thank you for that point, Nelson Counseling. Trish again, girl, you're blessing me. Oh man, sponsor of this stream. Trish says, another question, gentlemen. I love it. If you meet and marry a woman who is running a successful business, are you gonna allow her to continue with the biz? That's why I be wondering, like, do you want, not say me, but do you want me to just stop my life and close down shop? Everything now is about you, and maybe your business is the higher, money generator, maybe not, or what your career does, can take care of everybody, and we can flow through that and have stability that way. Is that your dream? Take the professional woman and say, cut it. Thank you. Roll it up and come over here and get on, as you would call it, DL, maybe my program. What are your thoughts on this?
As long as she has time to take care of the things that I personally need and the household endeavor, she could do whatever she wants on her own. But I got the list that she needs to abide to the list that I have created. But outside of that, do whatever you want.
So that's the home life that you spoke of earlier. Making sure the dinner is on the table, making sure the house is clean, making sure
intimacy.
Other things. And intimacy is number one. Yeah, up there, right? Emotional impact, emotional.
I'm gonna need that. I'm gonna need all that.
I'm gonna need you to be home. You cannot be at the office talking about, baby, I'm running late.
I'm gonna need that.
I'm gonna hear you. I hear you. How about you, DL? Go ahead.
I would say that it depends on the age and where you guys are in your lives. Like for me, like almost 52 years old, I really wouldn't care. You know what I mean? It's I'll be there with you. All right, no problem. We can still do this if that's what we decide to do. But if I'm 30, she's 25, our priorities might be, or definitely going to be different. We're going to want a family. I have a family, so you know what I mean. So you're going to have to let the business go, or we're going to hire some people to run the business so we can have our children. We can build our lineage. So it's really hard to. That's a very intimate thing and unique thing.
Where you are in the stage of life. I hear you. Anybody else want to respond to that?
Are you married, DL, or you dating, you got kids.
DL don't believe in all that. DL is red pill. Yeah.
There's another show that we did on this platform called "Is Marriage Dead?"
Oh, y'all got wrong with
And
it.
DL was like, it is actually. And
I'm like, it's not dead, but hey, it's not dead, but you know, it's on life for sport, and feminism is yanking on the cord. So,
anybody else want to give their feedback on that type of question? When you meet a woman who's up there, I mean, I've had. Oh, I don't want to talk about them because they're known entities, large companies written about in Black Enterprise and whatnot, and their husbands. It was funny when they left these companies that they built. Their husbands became the breadwinner, and many of us on the outside, girlfriends, were like, he made her stop. He made, he took away her dream. And then funny enough, friends of the guys who we are mutual friends, just happened to be, chatting. They were like, well, you weren't home when she came home burnt out, crying like, this is too much for me. And I was like, you know what? Look at this. That's why you can't judge people. But the friend of the guy had a whole different perspective. And I was like, dang.
Keep your friends out your damn relationship.
Yes, I was like, get your nose out of it, Sue, because I'm like,
what works for you?
Exactly. I would never have guessed because her public persona was like, had worked for, I'm not going to say the company, but like, had worked for like, say, Amazon and had this wonderful product and was big and getting written about. And we were also proud of her. And then when she stepped away and kind of took like like you would say, a county job, we were all like, girl, what? But again, you got to
for her.
Yeah, you got to kind of get out of people's business and let people do what works for them. And again, in that situation, we thought she was running that business. That was going to be their retirement plan. I know it's not, So yeah, you got to figure it out. And they got their own rules, etc. We're talking about, I'm enjoying this, y'all. Thank you guys. The chat is I'm so far behind. I'm not going to try to catch up. Hit the like button.
I think you got a $50 super chat.
Oh, do we?
I think you do.
Yeah.
Check that out. Any high value man? I'm gonna have to have you back, brother. You bringing it on?
I got all the high value man.
Bringing this. Let me
be a regular.
Hold on. We're bringing this
every week.
Tonight. I appreciate this. Nelson Counseling was giving y'all a salute. Yes, thank you. The selflessness, definitely. But I see you, the Alaska manager in Jersey. High value do not owe society anything. Neither do average earners. You do you. I don't agree with you, but I agree with. Or we wouldn't have a society.
I don't agree with that.
Yeah, brother Kevin specifically touched on that being of utility to the group. That's important.
We put that in the definition of high value that they have to. Yeah,
it's rewarding too.
So do we have to rub your Nelson Counseling on the super? Thank you, brother. Nelson Counseling says, impressive group of brothers. Got to get back to work, but keep it. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
Salute to you, brother.
Again, I was enjoying our conversation. Y'all go back and watch the mental health men hide. Woo, deep conversation we had just this past Saturday. Wonderful show. Go watch the stream, especially guys who maybe struggle in silence. And I know a lot of brothers do. I again, that listening ear, I always get the ear full of, this will happen to me. I'm like, I'm just working out. I didn't know we were going to go here. This is major stuff. You need to talk to a counselor and stuff like that. But Nelson, what you're doing in the space is super important. We're going to, change lives, God willing, with some of the stuff that we're doing. Not every show is going to be as deep as, what we did on Saturday, but I'm grateful that, again, he puts out content on a consistent basis about, mental health, mental disease, just general emotional and mental wellness that we got to pay attention to, y'all. Pandemic has been crazy. And many of us still feel a little bit like, oh my gosh, where do I fit? I'm off balance. Life is unpredictable even. I just got a client call today. This lady hurt my heart. What happened to her? So yeah, stuff is happening, and that we all, we don't think people care. We don't always want to share. But there are people who are neutral and affordable that it's their job to sit, listen, help you process what happened to you. So you don't want that to sit in the body. You want to get it out. So shout out to Nelson Counseling. Check out his website. Again, the show was phenomenal. He does coaching throughout the states and beyond. He also is licensed, I believe it was in Jersey. If you have, diagnosed mental health issues and you need support in that way. But I salute all my brothers who are doing that. What he just talked about, what are you doing for others? And it just happens to be his job, right? So thank you, Nelson Counseling, for this. Oh, such a gift tonight. Just again, this is a great conversation, but what you do, sir, hats off to you. Thank you again for your generosity and support of the content. Wow. So where do we go from here, gentlemen? We've covered a lot. I guess I wanted to know the biggest turnoffs for dating as a high value man, and like, I guess a good match for you guys individually. What are you looking for? Because I hear, again, we're talking in a general sense, and I don't want to like keep it general. I want to make it, again, I don't know. Is anybody on this panel married?
I'm not married.
Nope.
That tells you something right there. Is marriage dead?
DL on the Marriage is Dead. Y'all go back and watch. That was a great stream too. Is Marriage Dead? Go back and watch. Me and DL Saint had a wonderful stream. But I guess I wonder, again, women are gonna be curious. I hope guys watch this too, about turnoffs. I guess was where my mind was going next. And then what do you think? Obviously, we talked about the femininity. We talked about traditional traits, if you will, in the home. Can get bread. Don't make that overtake the family life. Support me beyond, especially if that dynamic is, this is the leader. I am the leader and I need support. What are we doing now? Physical nature. It sounded as if in shape, curvy, or other parts of, I guess, individual preference.
I mean, didn't Brother Kevin say it? Fit, friendly, and feminine?
Okay. Well, thank you for that nice summarization.
I like my woman with a little,
a
little thickness.
With a little thickness on it.
Little thickness. I ain't mad at you.
I'm from the South, man. We a
little extra on the butt.
I just need some curves, so she could be slim with curves, or a little bit of meat on with curves.
But y'all don't do big boned. Is that a big thing?
I don't.
Not no more.
It's like woohoo. Woohoo!
Because it's encouraging it. It's encouraging it. If a young lady meets if she was somebody like me, 36, never drank, never smoked, no tattoos, no criminal record, never wore my pants off my ass, don't have no boss, became a dad at 30, I'm encouraging that behavior. Her friends will start thinking you can get somebody like me. I'm encouraging the behavior. So, it's about being healthy at the end of the day. Can't love no woman and allow her to be unhealthy.
Okay, so it's about framing it from the
that's
point,
an excellent point. That's an excellent point, though, brother. That's an excellent point.
Yeah. Turnoffs.
Hold on. So wait. Back to y'all. None of y'all married.
No.
So do y'all believe in married? You were married before?
I was married before.
No kids from the marriage?
No kids. No, I wasn't married long.
Okay.
And for my own personal life, I've always tried not to have a kid outside of wedlock.
Okay.
I never wanted to be a baby daddy. I hate the word for my own life, not just anybody else. I've never wanted.
A lot of people who are baby daddies didn't set out to be. So
I've seen that situation, and I was like, man, I do not want to be a baby daddy, man. So I've intentionally tried now, and I wasn't married long, but yes, marriage is an option for me. I don't know about in front of the state again. I don't know about in front of the state or the courts, but I do. It is a goal of mine sooner than later. So even though I am actively dating now, I am looking to just be with one person.
Even though I'm in these streets.
Hopefully sooner than later. It is the goal of mine. So, but turn off.
Brother, talk your truth. I ain't mad.
Brother, sound like he saw that episode. It sound like you saw that episode me and Suzette did.
I'm like, these high value men want to be single though.
I'm gonna watch it. Turn off. Attitude. I'm not a big tattoo guy. I would like for her not to have any. At least if she has them, hopefully they're hidden. Positive friends. Who's in her friend circle? That's a big deal. Are most of her friends involved in a relationship, or their relationship minded or marriage minded? How she get along with her parents? It's not a direct determinator, but I have had my best success with women who come from stable, positive 2-parent households. I've even been with women whose dads had multiple wives, and those households were positive. So positive upbringing, positive outlook on life, not argumentative, no arguing in public ever. No slick jokes.
That's lowbrow, but go ahead.
It's nonsense.
Yeah, it's lowbrow.
You see how some women kind of poke jokes about their man when they're around their friends, like sneak dissing. Oh yeah, he don't even do nothing around here. Like none of that crap.
I have seen married people who cut each other and it hurt. It's uncomfortable.
No,
I was like,
that.
I don't want to be a part of this brunch. You cutting him, he cutting you, and y'all think it's funny, and it's in my presence, which is like, again, it came outside of your house.
I've never been a fan of that stuff.
Yeah, I can imagine. I don't like to see it myself. So I can appreciate that. So on the way to a more long-term committed.
yeah, it's a goal of mine. No, it's a goal, but I'm not gonna stay in the house and not date, even if I don't.
Oh no, you got things to do, places to go. So
things to do, baby. So I'm 40, so I guess late 20s to late 30s, around 40ish.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. I don't think anything too crazy.
Okay, so keeping it broad. TL, what do you think you need, or y'all don't think you need it, but want, or what are the big turnoffs? Either one. And shout out to who giving because of DL. Let me see. Super chat by Michael. Thank
Brother
you,
Michael, what's good?
Shout out to DL Uncle Saint.
Like I said, when you reach out, when you give back, it comes back tenfold. And that's, you know what I'm saying? That's one of my people's right there. Shout out to you, Brother Michael. And I mean, for again, for me, it's a different mission, right? My primary concern, my mission, my only concern right now is my daughter. Mm-hmm. I have a teenage daughter. That's it. Or we're in the most critical phase of her development. You know, she's 13 and a half, right? You know what I mean? Right. She is like 5'6". She is beautiful. Mm-hmm. That's why I got an M14 sent behind me. I'm waiting for these young boys. I'm waiting for these young boys to show up. But that is my primary mission. That's it. I'm not thinking about nothing else. Like people always ask me, like, oh, what do you want, women? Da. I ain't looking for nothing. If like, you know, kids are off the table for me. I can't have children. Right? It's done. Because I'm not playing around with that no more. You know what I mean? Because people are like, oh, you loose with your seed. I'm like, yeah, mostly dudes who don't get sexual access be saying that stuff, man. I'm sorry. It's just, you know what I mean? Just keeping it 100. You know, condoms are not 100% effective. They say it on the package. Exactly. You know what I mean? So, and then we
gone through a heck of a life story because of that.
Exactly. And we know how the system works over here. Again, I you know, this whole RP thing, for me, it means being aware, being unplugged. I understand how the family court system works, right? I'm not mad at women. You know, people like, oh, she trapped him. She did this. She did that. I ain't mad. You know, the fact that our society allows men to be forced into financial responsibility to be a parent and women are not forced. We cannot in fact, this thing with Roe v. Wade, people are losing their minds. Pitchforks and torches want to go up to City Hall and to the White House, you know what I mean, because of this thing with Roe v. Wade. And it's only a handful of states that are affected. You know what I mean? That option is still on the table. So I understand all these things. That's background noise for me. My goal, my focus, take care of my daughter. Now, once my daughter's, you know, sorted out and she's grown, you know, I don't want to live the rest of my days alone. I don't, you know what I mean? Luckily, I got good genes. I don't look my age. I figure I got 35 years left. If I'm lucky, I got 35 good ones.
Praise God.
Yeah, hopefully I can find somebody and I can continue my travels and go see the world and just have someone to share in that with me. So what are the turnoffs? Everything that was mentioned earlier. Like I don't want to deal with, you know, the rude. I don't want to deal with the woman who's mean to folks, who just we're sitting in a nice restaurant, so I have to treat the wait staff poorly. I don't want to deal with that person. I don't want to deal. Right, you know what I mean? I don't want to deal with a person with really low self-esteem to the point where she wants to make everyone else uncomfortable because she's uncomfortable. I don't want to deal with that. You know, I want someone who is of like mind, can sit back and enjoy these last, you know, for me, it'd be like my last few decades in this existence.
Hey, you talking about like, yeah, you going somewhere tomorrow? These last.
I mean, shoot, hey, tomorrow's not promised. We know that. I started in the church. No one knows the time nor date. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. I live if I don't wake up tomorrow, I'm good. My daughter is sorted out. She's good. She is taken care of for the rest of her life. My grandkids, which haven't been born yet, are taken care of for the rest of their life. I did the work. Shout out to Rich Cooper. You got to do the work. When people talk about high value guys, how, you know, top tier people, what's the one thing that y'all share? They did the work. The guys you see on this panel all did the work and we're still doing it. So, you know, I don't, you know, no one wants to, you know what I mean? We all know who they are. Like, we know who the bad people are. We know what it is. I don't care.
But y'all seem to still be drawing some of you below your caliber.
I'll blow the back out. Why not? Why not? I'll blow the back out. Still a dude. I mean, if it's there, you know what I mean? If it's there, still a dude.
This is too real for me. This is hold on to that thought. That might be too real for me. We're gonna wrap up about 15 minutes. That I can't open that can of worms, bro. How about this deal? Let's go. Let's go to Ezra on the super chat. Ezra, yay! The insurance broker. We did a wonderful show. Pivot to we did a wonderful show called "Do Men Really Want Legacy?" and protecting your legacy. And he says, loving this conversation. I would love to hear the panel's thoughts on legacy. And again, how that relates to high value men. Is that a big deal? Andre, and I'm going to let the other two brothers respond to biggest turnoffs from a high value or what you call yourself. If you're not calling yourself that, what you do not want in terms of dating or relationships, and then what you are seeking. But I want to pivot real quick just because of the super chat. Talking about legacy, is that something that is a primary goal of the average high value man?
You're asking me this, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, yeah, huge deal. But legacy doesn't just come from kids.
Okay.
Legacy comes from the work you do. So I literally get a message every day or a few times a day from someone who's maybe read my book or taken my course or watched a YouTube video, said, now I became a mobile notary. I made $200 the other day and I feel great about myself. So here's the deal with life, right? For me, and I believe other high value men too, impact is everything. Memories are everything. You can have so much. I'm big on personal fulfillment. Fam, I mean, like I can get a building on my own and I've gotten property on my own. That's dope. But I've also gotten property with the group with 5 or 10 other Black men and Black women. There's no joy in being a lone wolf for me. So yes, impact is everything. Legacy is everything, but it does not just come from kids. It comes from the current work that we're currently doing. And there's something out before about turnoffs, automatic disqualifier, lying, small lies, big lies. We are done lying. We are over. So yes.
All right now. All right. Let me bring the other brothers back onto the panel. Whatever you'd like to address, Noble, would you like to address either the legacy part of the conversation or desires of a woman in a woman or turnoffs?
Both turnoffs.
Or all. Yeah.
Yeah. Turnoffs is for me is if there's a history in her family where women are alienating the father from the children, automatic turn off permanently. Those chicks need to be alone all day, every day. I need to stop having whatever you call it with chicks that alienate the child from the father. It doesn't really make any sense. It's actually dishonorable on everybody's part. It doesn't really make any sense. I understand you go, well, what if I say all of them going to qualify for it, just to justify the BS. The other thing is legacy. It's extremely important. My mentor, met him at 20 years old in 2006. He's a millionaire. And almost every day I talked to him, he talked about immortality and what your last name means. And men in this space, and in my community, the Moorish community, and the manosphere, I very, very rarely hear immortality. I hide it. I don't hide it at all. I want to be remembered for all time. I want this to be the greatest generation in the history of the planet because I was here. That's it. I'm getting up every day to beat every last one of you dudes that breathe air, to be remembered first when they go over our time. And that's it. That's really what it's about. I'm every day I get up, I'm going to eat you alive in the most respectful way because I was here. That's what we need to start talking about. It's the number one thing that men have always craved, and that's immortality. So we won't die twice. So just to camel back on the mentorship, I got 2 videos in on my channel on free mentorship. One we talk about attitude. The second one we talk about price. And the price that we worry about is living a life not worth remembering. And you dying twice. You die, be gone, and then you die as if like you were never here. Nobody remembers you. Living a life not worth remembering.
Wow.
So legacy is everything.
Talk about legacy. Wow. Deep thoughts there. Thank you for those perspectives. Wrench Turner, do you want to add to any of that? Yes, no, on the legacy piece. I was like, drop mic, Noble. All right, what do you want to do in terms of the desires of a future possible I don't want to say, I want to say mate. That's really what's on the tip of my tongue. I was looking for another word, but to someone you're making a commitment to, or what you're looking for, or what you don't want, absolutely don't want.
Yeah, what I absolutely don't want is a lot of cosmetic stuff. What I mean is the loud hair, the long nails, I don't want them to. My personal preference, I like a neo soul bohemian type of sister. I don't like the. I
Also,
don't
you
want
need to get you one with the locks and the all
Yeah, would you like
natural
some
kind of.
libation, brother? Or some incense, and she got oranges and kiwi and all that kind of stuff. But
Santo Palo.
right.
That's
Right.
your style. Well, at least you know your style. That's good. Go for what you know.
They just
That's
crazy,
good.
man. But that's my weakness. But I like a sister that leans a lot more natural. So I'm not into the wig with the baby hair and all of
Yeah.
that's not
I
my
can't take it. It's too
that's
much.
not my get down. As
Yo,
far as
the baby hair get you in trouble though. Hello.
yeah, I steer clear of that baby hair. There's a certain archetype that I immediately know that you've bought into what society is selling to modern women. That's the way I look
Wow.
at it. So I tend to steer clear of those sisters. But as far as legacy, I've had a couple different recent examples of why legacy is important. In my profession, I lead a team of close to 70 people. A lot of these folks are people who come from a background like I do. A few guys I've actually grown up with. I've helped out both personally and professionally to the point to where two of them are salaried and one of them is on his way to being salaried. But not only the guys that I know, but individuals who have a rough background, kind of like I did. Guys who have done time, guys who have made all of the wrong mistakes, guys who were in a really good position to succeed, messed it up, and then needed somebody to extend an olive branch to help them get back to where they were before. So for me, my children are grown, but it's about making sure that I leave them better than how my parents left me, and also being of utility to people who may not necessarily look like me. I have a lot of people that I mentor that are Hispanic, a few white guys, mostly brothers and sisters, but a lot of them, I've given them all the skills that I possibly can to take their careers to the next level. And even as early as today, I had a conversation with a guy, just an off the cuff conversation. Hey man, I know that you're really good at this. Do you think you can set some time aside to show me how to do it? And I made sure I set that time aside. So for me, it's really about teaching the man how to fish. The brother Noble, when he talked about competing, I love to hear that, because that is the way all of us think. We're competing against the best of what this society has to offer. The beautiful thing about it is, even if that brother beats one of us, the way that we look at it is, okay, you won, but what can I learn from that last interaction? And when can we run it back? So that would be my feedback.
I'm sorry. I'm here listening. I was trying to be a producer and try to make you, the superstar for your wonderful comments. Let me bring back up the other brothers. I've enjoyed this, guys. I am definitely more of a fly on the wall, thinking, this is what men, think. And I see so many more comments. Last call of any questions for the panel. Last call for any.
What are you looking for, Suzette, in the man?
Mm-hmm.
Lord God, this is not about high value women. This is about high value men.
I didn't want to use my soundboard.
I gotta get a soundboard.
Podcast etiquette. I didn't want to.
I'm getting a soundboard.
I got my
soundboard. I'm leaving me out of the soundboard battle.
Not the Maracas shake. Well, gentlemen, there's so much that you've discussed that I think we have in common, which is, I think, temperament for me matters a lot.
That's a big deal.
Maybe call me sensitive, call me, having seen situations where I feel, if I were in that woman's shoes, I couldn't necessarily make it work. But of course, if you're already married, you have to make it work. But the way people speak to you on a regular basis, that love and respect part of it is super important to me. I can digest almost anything if it's said properly to me. But I'm an empath. and my feelings get hurt. So I don't want a man that speaks rough like on a regular basis. That would, I think, get on my nerves, and I think I would probably shut down. So for me, just the communication and the temperament matters a lot, because I know I'm a sensitive person. Beyond that, as a personality trait, I do like, fun loving and upbeat, positive, goal oriented and hungry, like feel like they have a purpose people. I tend to be like that. That's why I was like, I don't know if that's gonna work, because y'all told me I had to stop working, but I don't know. I like that. I think that would be a I saw Sandy B Law in the chat had asked, like, if y'all messing with the caliber below, aren't you in fact blocking your blessing and kind of missing on the caliber that you probably quote unquote want? At least that's what you say you want. But I think education is a relative thing. His ability to make money obviously is more important than what degrees. Stable-minded, good friend circle, love people, just love people, not wanting to what should I say, be seen, or have I guess a man has an ego, but how he, I don't know what the word is, uses it would just have to be appropriate. Like, I can't take someone who needs worshiping all the time. I'm gonna boost your ego now, but I can't take an egomaniac. I know that sounds extreme, but I don't mean it, because a lot of people don't look extreme even though they're egomaniacs. So a man who can, let me be me is super important. I think a lot of people, especially on YouTube, that's why I always kind of feel like people will feel like they know me, and DL, who is also getting to know me beyond these YouTube streets, I'm like, I don't know if people really know me like that, and if they are okay with me being who I am. That I think is it's gonna be a challenge, because I think some people see you in a box because of the box here. And you're more than this box. You have a lot more experiences and a lot more ways of thinking and being. So allowing me to be myself is super important. I think sometimes I feel like I'm on. I feel like as an attorney, I'm on. I feel like as a broadcaster, I'm on, right? And I don't want a performative relationship. That's super important to me. If I feel like I'm performing to meet your standard, or the families, or the, whoever is our peer group standard, I want to be as real as possible with that person. And I think sometimes you can get caught up in, well, this makes sense, or he's great on paper, and all that foolishness. So I think I'm at the point where I'm more prepared. But I give people myself in doses, because I want to say, okay, this is me. Can you deal with that? Okay. Okay. This is me again. Can you deal with that? Like I'm that type of person. So yeah, I think finances, I would like a 6-figure man if that's a possibility. It wouldn't be a deal breaker if he's not. Good family, obviously, or if he has had trauma, he has worked on his trauma. I think sometimes very
that's
difficult.
a big deal.
When you come to me and I feel your trauma, I feel your pain, but you haven't really worked on it, and you expect me to fix it or actually deal with the residue of it, it can get uncomfortable. And I've experienced that firsthand. Religion. Think about this sometimes. I really want a principled person. So I think sometimes I equate that with religion. But then I'd be mad at the church sometimes, so I don't know. Sometimes I'm like, they say go to the church and find a brother, and then I'm like, I don't know if I want those brothers at the church. But then I say I want principle, character above all. So maybe I do have to go to church, or is it some kind of special church with people with good character in the church? But principles, however he derives it. Like, I have cousins who are married to people who don't go to church and who are principled as hell. So I know that can exist in a man. I don't know. So those are like, but I do see myself probably raising a Christian valued household. And I do want some compromise when it comes to some of the, I don't know, the household stuff. Like, I was like, if I could commit to cooking 3 times a week, is that enough?
That's fair. Yeah.
Depends on the man.
I can't, I'm not going to promise you that. That's not going to be a lie. Like, I don't know.
You can't do 3 times a week?
3 times a week, I think, is normal, or at least acceptable. I think about that. I'm like, any dude that tell, oh, so you gonna cook every day? I'm not gonna lie to you because
I don't think that's fair. I think going out once, twice a week, ordering out once, twice a week,
listen,
cooking 3
we
days,
both gonna be busy. I'm gonna be at some speaking engagement. I'm gonna come home like once in a while.
I think 3 days is definitely fair.
I think I could do 3 days. These are conversations I'm having in my own heart. I'm like, okay, how many times could I really cook?
It depends on the individual you're dealing with too, Suzette. I mean, I love to cook. So if my wife is cooking dinner, I got breakfast, I got lunch. I like to cook. So it's not one of those things where you have to sit down and we have to sign this agreement. You're going to do this, and this.
Now implement stuff in a household where it's like, we're going to have dinner by 5. And
I think people need to be honest about their must-haves, though. I think
and if that's what he wants, I'm not the one. I'm okay with
it. It never serves anyone well when people lie about their requirements.
And so I'm kind of okay with that. I'm like, I would like help in the household. I think if we are both, it depends on, again, the financial structure. But if we're both still working, I think there is going to have to be some kind of compromise with some kind of monthly maid service or some things like this. I don't see myself physically having to work as well as do all the household. I can't.
Yeah, that's fair.
So
I want to hear what Brother Noble has to say. And Ms. Globe Girl, I ain't simping. I'm just trying to engage in the conversation. I don't know why you're tripping. I like to cook.
Let me shut up. I'm losing viewers. Hold on.
I make my pancakes from scratch. All right. I ain't simping.
I can make breakfast now, but it's gonna be like 3 things.
But I wanted to hear Brother Noble's take on that.
On what? Well, I'm vegan. I'm vegan, right? So most of the meals I eat are
fruits and vegetables.
Yeah, most of it's just grab and go. Everything is fast food with us. We used to go in the market, grab it, leave it. You know what I'm saying? And it'll be with me particularly. I'm not, most vegans not like me. It'll be difficult if you're gonna cook 3 times because I need to eat. I used to be a big boy. I'm 152 pounds now, 5'11".
Wow, that's
what I eat. Yeah.
What do you used to weigh?
Huh?
What was your old weight?
Between 248, 251.
Okay.
You lost 100 pounds?
Yeah, I was when I was like 20-some pounds. I was like 20-some years old. So I've been vegan since 2012. Congratulations! I'm waiting. Congratulations to all you brothers and your success. I appreciate it. It's probably the youngest on the panel. Always definitely want to thank the.
So you say you need 3 square? That's what you say.
Yeah, well, I just it's just something. But like I told you last time, like you asked me about the twerking. I don't like the twerking. This is the way the body move. Y'all body move when you cooking. It's heavenly. It's just the best thing in the world. Any brother tell you
like
that.
Forget the twerking, Sierra Mac. Just get in his kitchen and go.
Nothing like the sight of a fine woman with the apron on. It's over. Aphrodisiac out the kazoo.
Note to self, buy an apron. Okay.
When they turn real
like
fast,
they're like 3 of them. Change it up.
And that jiggle. Oh my God! I don't like the thing.
Oh Jesus!
What the young kids say? Facts.
Y'all wanted the mind of a man. You're getting the mind of a man. Let's go. Thank you, Sunbreeze. You've been amazing tonight. Thank you, Gail. Good to see you. And I think I saw Super.
What up, Gail?
From Gail. Did I miss it? I'm enjoying the conversation.
Gail.
Watching. Fantastic.
Salute to Gail at night. For real, the real one.
Fantastic content creator, showing love. Thank you for being over here, sis. I know you got a lot going on your channel as well. Thank you, Seattle Black Veteran. Appreciate the support, my brother. I know you always over here showing love, and I'm glad you're enjoying tonight's convo. I swear I saw a super chat from Gail. Now all of a sudden I can't find it. But yeah, we're wrapping up, gentlemen. Final thoughts. Noble, sorry, you were talking about what you needed. It's the difference between cooking and fixing. You know that, right? There's the cooking that take all day.
No.
And then there's the fixing that is like a 10 to 30 minute thing, right?
I like to sweat. And the sweat come down.
That's 2 hours. Ain't nobody got 2 hours to be in the kitchen for breakfast, for lunch, and for dinner.
Listen, just be adults, right?
Yes.
How I rock. When I'm vegan, you're going to want to cook.
Okay.
Well, they always cook.
Ladies is heating up. Why can't I get a couple ladies on the panel to help me balance out some of this testosterone, please? Again at night, thank you, darling. Great stream. She says, good looking panel. I love it. Yeah, it's really important to know what you want. That's why I'm, again, just curious as to what the men actually do want. Yes, they are single and quote free. And yeah, exactly. Sunday, Wednesday, maybe you know, I like
those are good days too. I was looking at that. I was because we're gonna go out Friday and Saturday anyway. Like
that's what I'm saying. So
Sunday,
I'm just like
Wednesday, middle of the week.
Yeah,
Tuesday is still taco night, right?
Fresh, and you got
Monday leftovers, Tuesday tacos.
Yeah, exactly. It works itself out. Yeah, I know, but there are women that are dedicated and again don't work. Some do, and I think they get the meals on the. It's like a whole thing. You got to really plan. You got to be really organized.
Meal prep.
Yeah,
for 2 hours.
it's important to make sure you got this. Miss Gold
Hey, sisters in the chat though, how many of y'all can cook though? Real talk. One in the chat if you really know how to cook, sisters.
I'm telling you, I got a solid, probably like 5 dishes, like solid.
What are they?
You're gonna solid.
What are those 5 dishes? We want to know.
Caribbean.
That's on the Patreon. That's behind the paywall. You want to know what those dishes are? You got to join the Patreon.
To see Suzette's top 5 dishes.
Right, with the link.
My Patreon.
What level I gotta be at?
Trish again. Oh my gosh. Does he have to be posh or proper? I've struggled with that. I don't think so. Because
you want a nice blend?
A posh man. I couldn't see you with a posh.
I'm kind of rootsy. I'm kind of hood when I want to be.
But you need like a down to earth.
Yeah.
You need like a down to earth gentleman.
Yeah.
Cool gentleman. Yeah. You can't deal with no posh guy.
I think when people try to set me up, they want to set me up with that, and I'm kind of like, you don't really know me.
That's not your swag.
It works until that accent come out, then run.
Until I want to go to a fete, and I'm like, what you got on, bro? Like, let's go. Like, what are you doing here? So yeah, I honestly think at my core, I want a man that can, you know, flip and be in different corridors. I have to have a man that can be in different corridors. But straight up, you know, like preppy only can't work.
Suzette, she need rude boy. She need a rude boy.
I try to
Thanks
tell
for that
dudes
question,
that.
Trish. Shout out to you and thank you again on the super chat. So freaking generous. I can't believe it. Thank you. I appreciate you. Oh, D says, Sue, you're a gem, sis. I would add spiritual, unselfish, and support 100%.
Oh, real quick for Trish. Yo, if she's anywhere near London, I hope you staying cool and staying safe. Like London's on fire, y'all. I don't know if y'all seen that. They're experiencing a heat wave over there.
Ever recorded right now today.
It's spreading across, and it's spreading across Europe.
There don't have AC. I think
no AC
of the houses in UK have AC. So
that's Europe. Like my people are in Switzerland, no AC. They were so upset.
And most of those houses are designed to trap heat because of the cold. So they're going through it. Lots of deaths. Unfortunately, elderly all across Spain, all across Europe. Wow. Thank you for bringing that up, DL. So I hope you're being safe, Trish, and Simon Hectic, and all my fans over there in UK, and my subscribers over there. Thank you, DL, for bringing that up. Appreciate y'all. So the panel is closed. Backup is closed. We're gonna get final thoughts now. I see so many comments. I cannot keep up. Doug, thank you. Says great guest. He been waiting on you.
Salute to Doug.
Doug suggested you, Andre.
Really? Appreciate that,
every
Doug.
time I kept pushing back the show, he was like, "Where's Andre?
Wow.
Where's Andre?" I can't put on Andre. It was me too. It was me. Okay. So he kept saying, even from yesterday when I moved into today, he was like, "Where's Andre? And why can't we get Andre on?" Doug has a wonderful sensibility about what's going on YouTube. He supports so many channels.
He's a wise man.
Yes.
Great perspective.
Very good perspective. Pulse to the streets. Knows who is real and who I can connect with and be satisfied. And he was the person that suggested you. He's like, check this guy out. And I'm thankful that he did. So Doug, thank you. Always supportive. Also a member of my Patreon. Appreciate you so very much. And again, he's the reason behind this collab. So thank you, Doug. Looking out. But yeah, good guy. Supports, I know, so many people. Like, you talk about give and help people build. That's Doug. When he told me how many people he's in their Patreon, I was like, Doug, you support 20-something Patreons. Like that's a big deal. So we see you, brother. Thank you for what you do to hold up the people in this space and put your money where your mouth is. We support you. You really do. And I'm grateful to count you among my speakers and always appreciative of your support, brother. Thank you. Luke Casely is here. I saw Luke Casely. I was up late with TLA. I know you was in the chat, girl. He had me up until 1:30 yesterday trying to get on the panel with him, but But it was worth it. Shout out to anybody who came over from TLA. And shout out to TLA for a fantastic stream. Didn't get to bed about 2 a.m. So yeah, it was a little bit of a rough day, but it was fun. I hadn't hung out with him for so long. So yeah. So final comments, guys. Oh, you had voting today, D? We didn't have voting here. Yeah, saying climate change ain't real. Y'all so funny. Cha-la-la-la, boom, boom. Andrew, don't try to pop up late. You and Simon Hexick like to come up when I'm closing down the show. Yes, Florida heat right now is super hot as well. Going in and out the car. Yeah, Doug, thank you.
108 degrees in Texas today.
What?
Yeah, I'm in Texas too. Yeah, 108.
Yeah,
108?
Yep, 108.
Man, you can fry egg on the sidewalk and that kind of heat.
Literally.
I thought the mid to high 90s. My neck was burning today. I was just like, we had to run outside, and it was only like 9. Like we finished this run, and I was like, oh my God, I can't wait to get back inside. Like I didn't put on enough sunblock. It was, very serious. Yes, Brown Gal Peace Lounge. Salute to Doug for always supporting the creatives in the space. All right, so gentlemen, I have enjoyed. Again, like a fly on the wall, listening and understanding your thoughts as to what men want, dating, and hopefully seeking something more long-term as a high-value man. Ladies, I hope you've enjoyed as much as I have as well. Final comments will go in reverse order. We'll start with Noble. Final comments on today's show.
It's first it was a pleasure being up here with you brothers, and definitely you, Suzette. Awesome panel, awesome conversation. Saying I always take the opportunity out for any brothers that came before me to thank you for being productive. Coming from the city, I come from Liberty Heights and going out Northwest Baltimore. I didn't get to a lot of these places where you speak to men. I always knew all the dope boys. Well, my dad and my brother was like, they was the ones running around doing the shooting stuff like that. So I've always been appreciative because a high value man saved my life. He gave me an opportunity to learn a lot. And the same things you guys said today about women, that's what they talked to me about at 20 and 21 years old. I was around a lot of men, a lot of brothers. They talked about the same thing, keeping your head straight, child support and all that. But people definitely, for the ladies that's watching, definitely take heed. Just start to have these conversations. And the biggest thing about high value men is the mentorship that they do. Everybody worrying about whether they pick a lady or not, but the mentorship that they've done and brothers have done for the last 20 something years has been remarkable. It doesn't get talked about enough. And I definitely encourage brothers to continue to do that. That should be the number one topic when it comes to high value man or affluent man. That's it. You muted.
Well, I keep doing that. Thank you.
I do it too. We struggle streaming, but we all do it.
I'm like, thank you so much. I appreciate you, Noble. Thank you, guys.
Pleasure.
Check out his channel. We've dropped it. Drop it one more time, please, in the comments, and go check him out. Doing work here. A lot of like-minded people finding each other. And thank you so much for coming through and blessing us with your thoughts tonight. And I'll see you soon. All right.
Yes.
Thank you so much. I'm gonna bring up Wrench Turner next. What are your final thoughts tonight?
Final thoughts on high value men. St. Kevin did an excellent job of kind of giving a guide or a few boxes to check, but just like with anything else, there's a spectrum, right? All of us have lives before we became high value. All of us reach high value by different means. Me personally, I am a blue collar guy who really took the open competition, be better than everybody. So along the way, I had to really take on some stressful situations and like I said, depending on the man, there are a couple of different ways you get there, but ultimately it's not a one size fits all like a lot of people think. The most important takeaway from it, and I think if you ask any of the guys that are high value men, is our utility to other people. That's not saying that it's an open invitation for a lot of people, but we are always looking for folks who really want to learn. We know that when we leave this earth, you can't take any of this stuff with you. So it's extremely important to make sure that we give back and we leave something that lasts longer than our days that we're blessed to walk this rock that's floating through space. So for those who are watching, when you think about high value men, there's not necessarily a one size fits all, but if I could say that that's one thing that's super important, even more important than the money, because you can't take it with you, is the legacy that you leave behind in the form of helping other people, and how well your offspring will be taken care of in relation to how you came up.
That's what's up. I appreciate you, Wrench Turner. First time here on the channel. You are welcome up anytime, my brother. Check out his channel. I gotta check out the show that you talked about before. What was the name of it that you guys did together?
Which one? I have my last video that I posted is actually a brother who is a firefighter paramedic. This is a guy I grew up with. Our parents grew up together. Our grandparents grew up together. And his perspective, and then he's a high value man too. And both of us come from the hood. His perspective on what he does is something that people should watch. And he's married to a beautiful sister, has beautiful black children.
Drop it in the chat. Drop it in the chat. Okay. Wherever that is, drop that in the chat.
Yeah, he's.
You say you just did that interview?
Yeah, this was maybe 2 or 3 days ago. But his perspective on the mentality that it takes to pull up on crime scenes and how that translates into his daily life. He reminds me kind of like of a Nathan Daly.
Yeah.
But he's seen some things. He and I are really, really close. The other stream is a guy. I did my first live stream, and a tweaker popped up on there, and I was just like, this is new. The white guy looked like he probably been through some stuff, but
wow.
But yeah, the brother's Black Tread TV. Like I said, it's a brother I grew up with.
Wow.
And he's a firefighter paramedic, and an interesting character to listen to. He has a beautiful insight on life and what he does.
That's amazing. I'm interested. Like I said, it's my first time. I'm not familiar with the content, so I gotta go check you out. Y'all check out, see his name there, and there's a longer name for your platform. What do you call yourself?
Wrench Turner Presents.
There we go. Wrench Turner Presents. Thank you for coming up. Thank you,
pimping.
Absolutely, it's good to see you, brother, man. Can I hit my soundboard real quick? Can I hit my soundboard real quick?
I go in a blood class.
I love it. Let's go. Representing for the Yachties tonight. I appreciate you, brother.
Yes,
nice
indeed.
meeting you. And I hope to have you back up again. Thank you very much for adding to tonight's discussion. All right. See you soon. And DL, what are your final thoughts tonight?
Oh, I don't know what to say. This was amazing. I'm honored to have been a part of it. I mean, this is an outstanding panel on an outstanding show. Great content, great topic. Everything was covered. You know what I mean? I don't have anything else to add to it other than this. I do want to just say shout out to all the speakers. Shout out to Gail at Night, to Brother Doug, RM, and a special shout out to Ms. Globe Girl, Miss AKA Lady. Shout out to you as well. But Ms. Globe Girl came over to my platform, which I'm brand new in the space. And like Suzette really helps me a lot. Like she has no idea how much she helps me. She keeps saying I help her, but I'm like, she's really helping me. And Ms. Globe Girl came over to one a while ago when I had a buddy on, and we like to talk history. And she gave the idea that we do a show on warrior women, of the history of warrior women. And that was I can't thank her enough for that idea. We did it. A great show. I mean, I'm so proud of that show, and I can't thank you enough, Ms. Globe Girl, for giving me that seed. You planted that seed, and I mean, it put a lot of wind in my sails. I'm riding high on that one. I watch it every other day. I just pop it on and start watching it because it's just my buddy dropped so much knowledge.
It was a great show.
It was a great show. So shout out, like I said, a special shout out to Ms. Globe Girl. I know we don't agree on everything. We don't see eye to eye, and we're not supposed to, people. That's how this works. This is how we learn. Yeah. Right? We can't all be in the same bubble. We have to share these thoughts, and we have to share these ideas and these outlooks, and we have to look at it. If I can't convince you of something, then maybe there's something wrong with what it is I'm trying to convince you of. So I'm gonna go back to the drawing board and try to figure it out. So I really love this. I love what you're doing. Thank you so much, sis, for having me up here. Suzette Speaks. You know you got it going on. And brother Andre, it's a pleasure meeting you, bro. Brother, pleasure being up here with you.
And thank you, DL, for your support always. I appreciate you. We'll talk. Thank you, brother. Have a good night. Good night. Good night. All right, and then there was one. Awesome.
Yeah.
Enjoy the conversation tonight. You definitely enlightened me, brother. But your final thoughts? What would you like to leave the people with?
Man, this was fun. I appreciate it. Hopefully I could be a recurring guest. It would be an honor. Come
invite yourself over, why don't you? No problem.
Will do.
No problem.
I'll bring food. As long as you cook the food, I'll bring it.
Hey, with the apron on. Let's go.
Listen. I'm gonna mail you one.
Listen, apparently I put it on my list. Buy 3 aprons.
This was dope. Honored to be here. Reputation matters because reputation got me on the show with you.
Yeah.
Reputation got me in with Kevin Samuels. Shout out to the late great Kevin Samuels.
Yeah.
Who you are as a person matters. Keep your cat. We often talk about the income part of it because it's the real world, man. This is America. But never forget about your character and that your reputation should precede you. It should work for you when you aren't around. That's a big deal. Something my dad taught me, and it always stuck with me. So I always had to guard that. And look, it pays off. Dating. If you are dating, it doesn't take a guy too long, if you're a lady, a guy too long to go from 50, 60 to 100 if he desires it. And I know the whole high value 6-figure thing is popular, and I get it. Look, I got sisters. I'm a practical guy. I get it. But only 10 to 50% of all humans earn above 100 grand a year. Maybe if you're rocking with a guy, maybe you guys come up with a plan together, execute the plan, and have the assets fund your lifestyle. It does not take too long. If you're a guy and you need to make more money, do what you need to do, then do what you want to do. Not everyone's going to have the passionate thing that they find. Fam, as long as you don't hate it, as long as you strongly like it, rock out, buy some assets, invest. You can have a whole different life in a few years. So I want everyone to just keep that in mind. Please check out my channel. And just on a real tip, I know like YouTube is loud at times. Most men want relationships, whether it be marriage in front of the court. All right, maybe some men don't, but most men want honest, committed relationships. So just keep that in mind, and hope everyone finds what they're looking for out there.
Oh, wonderful. End on some positivity. Most men would like to be with somebody. I believe that. And I do believe sometimes the loudest voices are not necessarily always their most representative voices. And we got to remember that even though people be loud, they can be loud and wrong. And they're, it gives the impression that everybody thinks like this. No, guys, we have to try to filter out those, sometimes misguided messages or messages that are, again, overly amplified. And then we think that everybody thinks that way. You have done a magnificent job tonight. Thank you. I'm so glad you said yes. And he answered quickly, y'all. He was like, of course, I'll be over there. It was me.
I know who you are. I've been watching you for ages. So
no
way. Yeah.
No way.
Totally.
I'm telling you, it's Doug put me on. A lot of y'all suggest people, please. Send me an email, send me a DM. Only if you're suggesting people, and let me know who's out here, because again, you get caught up in your own little world, and I don't know everybody, and I work, and I got to break my own bread, like I said, and all the stress of being a single woman.
I'm gonna get you some stocks. Don't worry about that. I'm gonna get you some.
Apparently, I'm that stress that they don't want you to have when you come home. I have it right now, so sometimes I don't get to watch everybody. I know so many great people doing wonderful shows. Shout out to 𝗩𝗏𝗏. Shout out to DL. Shout out to everybody. Gail, I can't even call the names because I've seen so many people, push themselves to start this craziness. And, it's worth it, guys. I know it's a hard place to sometimes find your voice. You got to test out what works for you and all that. But we're rooting for you, even if we're not always on your chat and on your channel. So I see you. Thank you, guys. Everyone who came, just not tonight, but always. My supporters, my speakers, thank you. Supporting the content, giving, liking, commenting, sharing. You don't know. It's made the journey worth it. But to this brother here, y'all support him. He has written books, y'all, multiple books. Go to his, I just put the website. I probably should have put the actual bio, but I put the website.
No, that's fine. Even better.
Put the website. Y'all check out his website. Definitely subscribe to his channel. Check him out on Insta. You know, a little lifestyle over there going on too. But thank you, Andre. I've enjoyed this.
My
I
pleasure.
appreciate you coming over. And yes, you can always come back. We're going to set up another one. August. I'm going on vacation. You know that, right? I'm going to Jamaica.
Where you going?
2 weeks. I will.
2 weeks.
Well, don't get.
I'm coming. What part are you going to? I'm coming. I'm coming. Look, I got my Jamaica cup right here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get some white rum in them things.
Listen,
you know that.
I will be doing the Usain. I will be doing the Usain.
Have fun. You deserve it.
Part with family, part at a hotel, part just enjoying. I need some time off. This is gonna be my first trip since pandemic. I wasn't out on these streets, so Patreon, get ready. Definitely gonna take a lot of video. I don't know if I'll do lives there or just kind of like do compilations afterwards of my trip, but that's next week. I leave the end of July. Okay. So if you guys don't see me, get ready. I'm trying to finish up my week and a half strong here. So again, shows coming up on Thursday, you know, David versus Goliath. Saturday, also another great show. I'm not going to tell you all my stuff. Let me let Andre go. Andre, thank you. It's been a pleasure.
My pleasure.
I hope you guys got some you know, they walking around. We need them, y'all. We need them. So can't push our men to the side. We got to understand them more. Thank you. Thank you so much to the brother Andre Hatchet. So yeah, check him out. Y'all know he did the work tonight. Make sure you go subscribe, look at his content. He also is business minded. So most of his content will not be relationships. It will be business mentorship, but always a pleasure meeting new YouTubers. Always a pleasure getting more information. Make sure you subscribe. That's the whole point. Subscribe to the channel so you know what's coming up. I will probably finish up next week. So I'll have Thursday. I'll have Saturday. Trying to set up my Monday interview. I hope we can book it. It's a kind of a big deal person. He's going to be very busy very soon. So hopefully he says yes for Monday. Y'all will find out. Just hit the subscribe and notification bell. And I don't know if I'm going to do, I definitely can't do Tuesday. I got a busy long day trying to wrap up stuff Tuesday and then maybe Wednesday. If not, I'll probably from the plane or somewhere give you a little something when I get out of here. Probably be Thursday. So it's been a pleasure having Andre on. Thank you again, brother, for stepping up to the not only the plate but to the mic. Not very bashful about this topic. Again, I hope you enjoyed tonight, dating as a high value man. Y'all hit the like button. Subscribe to my guest again. Y'all want to support. Thank you to everybody who super chatted and gave. Thank you so much for everyone who watches. And I didn't even know watches the channel. Thank you so much. And of course, we got Patreon. Y'all don't worry because I'm going to be again overseas pretty soon in Jamaica, enjoying myself and spending a little time finally. You know, kind of exhaling. I need it. So I hope you enjoyed tonight's show. Shout out to everybody watching live. Shout out to Team Replay. Make sure you hit the like button on your way out. Oh no, we got more than rum punch. Yes. Thank you, Sun Breeze. Appreciate them raising. Y'all don't even know. I'm so ready. I'm signaling the plane right now, Andrew. I'm so ready. So if you missed me for that 2 weeks, don't worry. I'm telling you now, speakers, speak up. If people are like, where's Suzette? Let me know so that, or let them know that I'm only taking a break. We all need one. And I'm really excited. Anyway, always a blessing. Thank you guys for joining me. Have a great night. Take care and see you soon.